7 years later.
Yep. It'll be Drew Stubbs to lead it off. Our first pitch brought to you by Belterra Casino Resort. A ground ball to shortstop, and the throw in the dirt dug out nicely by Gabby Sanchez to retire Drew Stubbs, and this game is underway.
First base umpire Larry Vanover had to look for just a moment to make sure that Sanchez had control of that baseball.
So Stubbs jumping on the first pitch and grounds to short. That brings up shortstop Orlando Cabrera. 76-degree temperatures, cloudy skies, but on the radar, no rain in sight. As Robertson misses down low, 1 ball and no strikes to the 207 batting Cabrera, who cracked a 2-run home run here last night. Robertson back to the plate, and it's taken high, and the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes.
Even with that cool temperature, you can still feel the moisture in the air.
Yes, you can. It was a very, very humid day here today. There's a call strike. Defensively, Gabby Sanchez first, Dan Uggla second. Jorge Cantu at third, Hanley Ramirez at shortstop. The outfield left to right, Chris Coughlin, Cameron Maben, and Cody Ross. Ronnie Paulino catching, and it's a ball. And Cabrera 1 pitch away from getting on as the count goes to 3-1. Waiting on deck, Joey Votto. And a call strike. Jeff Kellogg doing the honors behind the plate with Larry Vanover at first base, Mark Carlson at second, and C.B. Buckner at third. 3-2 the count to the waiting Cabrera. Swinging, fly ball center field. Drifting back a bit is Cameron Maben, and he puts it away for out number 2. Remember, if you're driving around in your car or truck listening to our broadcast, please buckle up. Brought to you by the Ohio Department of Public Safety. What's holding you back? Here now is Joey Votto with 2 out. Votto has really been struggling of late at the plate. 1 hit and 15 times up as he takes the first pitch, a breaking ball for a strike. Batting average down to .259 with a home run to account for the only run that he has driven in the first 7 games of the season. That pitch, a breaking ball away, and it's all square on him at 1 ball, 1 strike. Robertson came late in spring training from the Detroit Tigers to the Florida Marlins. That pitch off the plate when Jim Leland decided that Dontrell Willis was going to be their number 5 starter. He sat Robertson down, explained the situation to him, and said, we'll do everything we can to make a trade for you, which is what they did. There's a strike. Joey tried to check his swing. And so now he's back with the club that he originally signed with. Jeff said made his big league debut in 2002 for the Marlins against the Pittsburgh Pirates. There's ball low and away, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Votto. Brandon Phillips due to bat next. Stubbs is grounded to short. Cabrera's fly to center. And Robinson checking in with Ronnie Paulino, turns it loose, and that's ball 4. So the Reds have the first base runner of the night. 2-out walk goes to Votto. The inning continues for Brandon Phillips.
Well, you can already see what Robertson is planning on doing with this Reds lineup, and that's changing speeds and just about every batter that comes to the plate. He is one lefty that you will see throw a lot of changeups to left-handed batters. You don't see that often, but you'll see it tonight.
Well, Brandon Phillips working on a modest 3-game hitting streak, and that probably seems like 25 in a row for him. Such has been the struggle for this guy at the plate. There's a quick throw on to first, and Votto dives back in. He had 2 outstanding bunts in last night's game, 1 for a bunt single in the 8th inning, and then the key sacrifice bunt in the 10th inning after Joey Votto had opened with a base on balls. It sets the stage, and there's a pickoff at first base. He threw over once, he throws over again, and he picks Votto off to end the inning. The Reds get nothing in the top of the first. Marlins coming to bat on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
It's a world of endless meetings, a place where the copier's always jamming and cubicle dwell.
ATM in your grocer's freezer.
Chris Coughlin steps in to lead off the bottom of the first inning for the homestanding Marlins, and the first pitch is a bit high from Bronson Arroyo. Outstanding his first time out, 8 innings, 4 hits in a no-decision outing. And now back tonight trying to get that first victory of 2010 as he drops a breaking ball over. It's 1-1 on the reigning National League Rookie of the Year. Young man had a brilliant season last year after beginning the year in the minor leagues. He swings and he misses. Coughlin, then Maben, and then Ramirez is how the men of Freddie Gonzalez line up here in the home half of the first inning. Both ball clubs with identical 4-3 records going into play tonight. Arroyo unloading and a swing and a ground ball foul between the bag and the coaching box at third. As part of its extra effort program, Ohio Casualty Insurance, members of the Liberty Mutual Group, will make a donation to the Cincinnati chapter of the American Red Cross each time the Reds hit a double or a triple. It's the extra effort program from Ohio Casualty Insurance and their independent agents. Broken bat for Coughlin, back in the box. And Arroyo coming right back at him. Swinging and a pop-up outside of third. Let's see if Roland has room. He does, and on the warning track, he makes a catch.
It is amazing to me to watch even a veteran pitcher of Arroyo's status continue to make adjustments as his career goes on. You saw the changeup in Game 1 that he threw so many times with such great results, and now here he is again tonight. 2 pitches to Coughlin, one that he just missed by about 3 feet. Just the bottom fell out of it.
Well, he's facing Cameron Maben, a very talented center fielder, and he shows bunt, and the ball actually hit the bat. So he's down a strike. That pitch was way in on his hands as he shortened up as if to bunt the ball and then realized that ball was not going to be a strike, tried to get it back but couldn't do it in time. No score here in the bottom of the first inning. Arroyo with a big leg kick and missing low and inside, a ball, a strike. Joey Votto, Brandon Phillips, Orlando Cabrera, Scott Rowland, first, second, short, and third. Back deep in left field, Johnny Gomes. Straightaway center, Drew Stubbs. Straightaway right, Jay Bruce. And Hannigan behind the plate, and a one bouncer back to the mound, and Arroyo throws to Votto, and quickly there are 2 men out. Well, we talk about Chris Coughlin being the reigning Rookie of the Year from 2009. Here's the man who won the batting title in the National League last season. Hanley Ramirez batted .342 and comes into this game in this new year batting .360. A home run and 3 runs batted in.
Well, the Marlins have them a pretty good 3-4-5 combo with Ramirez, Cantu, and Ugla. These guys can slug it a little bit. It's just a matter of Maben and Coughlin getting on in front of them.
Foul ball straight back. Ramirez came up in the Red Sox organization, was acquired from that team in the trade that sent Josh Beckett, Mike Lowell, and Guillermo Mota to the Boston Red Sox in November of 2005. That pitch is in the dirt. It's obviously been a fine trade for both ball clubs, but when you consider all the people that the Red Sox have gone through at that shortstop spot since this kid was traded from that ball club, you can't knock the trade because Beckett has been a big-time pitcher in their rotation.
He's a horse.
Yeah. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Pull foul into the seats above the Reds bullpen down the left field line.
Well, sometimes you got to give a little bit to get something that you have to have. And at that point in time for the Red Sox, they had to have a horse in that rotation. And Beckett was the one that they got. And it's, Marty, we've watched the maturation process of Hanley Ramirez. And when he came to the Marlins, he was very frail, very thin. And I tell you what, he is a man.
Yes, he
now.
is. Back in the box with 2 out, no score here in the first inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count on him with Jorge Cantu waiting on deck. Arroyo back to the plate, and a swing and a ground ball slap to third. The pick by Roland, the throw to first ends the inning. 3 men up, 3 men down. The second coming up. No score on the Cincinnati Bell Reds radio network. Afternoon. Here's a rocket hit to deep center field. Maven after the ball, and he will not get it. That ball rattling around to the right of the 404 sign, and Phillips will stop at second with a booming double to center field.
That was one of those balls, Marty, that looked as though it started towards Maven and continued to tail off towards that right center field marker.
So the Reds put a little pressure on Nate Robertson at the outset of the second inning as a result of the second 2-base hit of the year for Phillips. Here's Scott Rowland. What a big night he had here last night. 2 home runs, and to cap it off, the game-winning single in the 10th inning. He said, all of a sudden, I'm having a good season. Shooting that average up to .318 with 3 homers and 4 runs knocked in now. There's a bluff throw back. Today, much nicer day. The sun was in and out all day long, but very warm, very humid, very windy. So far we've been able, I guess, to dodge a bullet in light of the kind of rain they got both Sunday and for a good part of the day yesterday. Pitch inside a ball. I asked Freddie Gonzalez, the manager of the Marlins, when they were taking batting practice, I said, are we okay tonight? He said, I got to tell you something. I don't check on the weather until 15 minutes before the first pitch.
He's smart.
Yeah. He said, because, you never know what you're going to get here. That pitch is in for a call strike. A lot of people think that Freddie Gonzalez will be the man to succeed Bobby Cox in Atlanta. In fact, apparently it became an issue last year, late in the season, to the extent that there were many people who wondered whether or not Freddie Gonzalez would even be brought back as manager of the Marlins for this season, even though their 87 wins last year, they were 87-75, the third most wins in a season in the history of this franchise, and the 2 teams that had better win records were teams that won world championships. One of the really nice guys in the managerial fraternity in the major leagues, I'll tell you. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That's high for a ball.
Nice as a man, but understands what it takes to win.
Yes, he does.
When he has to press the buttons, he can press the buttons.
He would seemingly have the whole package. He and his wife reside in Atlanta in the offseason, even though both are Miami natives. That pitch is inside for a ball, and it's not an accident that his name is being mentioned because he was in that organization for a long time before coming here to take over the job as manager of the Marlins. 3-1 the count on Rowland. Phillips at second. That's ball 4, and the first 2 have reached here in the second inning. We'll pause for station identification on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Nate Robertson has issued a walk in each of the first 2 innings. First and second occupied, nobody out. Johnny Gomes standing in. Robertson stands up and lets it fly, and it's 3-0 Cincinnati. A line drive into the seats in left field. And I'll tell you what, if they had a stopwatch on that baby, you would have pressed the start button and pressed the stop button immediately. That's how quickly it got into the seats in left field. Number 2 for Johnny Gomes, and the Reds have taken a 3-0 lead.
Well, I believe that Johnny Gomes was told before the ball game, move up on the plate, look for something that you can hammer and quit worrying about the breaking ball. And he ends up getting a breaking ball there that's up in the strike zone, and he did the first part. He hammered it.
Well, he did that. So 3-0 to score, just like that. And here's Jay Bruce, and Bruce shows bunt, takes the strike.
Well, his home runs get out of here in a hurry, don't they?
Big time.
Good.
That one is hit high and deep to right field. Let's see if it stays fair. It will be a fair ball and a home run. And the Reds have a 4-0 lead, and we may have the umpires take a look at that. Here comes Freddie Gonzalez. First baseman Gabby Sanchez and right fielder Cody Ross both signaling foul. But right now, that represents Jay Bruce's first home run and his first RBI of the season. And for the moment, it is a 4-0 Reds lead.
Well, it looked like Larry was standing right on the line. The other two guys that were not happy with the call, Sanchez and Ross, were a little bit skewed from where the ball went out. And this may be one of those deals, as you said, Marty, where Freddie Gonzalez has asked him to go inside and take a look.
Yeah, I believe they're going to go take a look at it. They're all four huddling off the first base foul line, and here we go. To the plate. They're going to rule that a foul ball. They certainly are. They're going to say that ball was foul. Dusty Baker is out there now chatting with Jeff Kellogg, the plate umpire. So Jay Bruce apparently is going to have what would have been his first home run of the year taken away, and he's going to have to come back to the plate.
Well, it sure looked like on the video that the ball went behind the foul pole, which would, in my estimation, say that the ball disappeared and then be a home run. But, you know, when you go in to look at it, you get a bunch of different views that we don't get.
Now, Dusty Baker apparently happy with the explanation, and Jay Bruce is back at the plate with a 2-0 count on him, and the breaking ball is low and away. 1-2 the count. So it doesn't take this season long to have the Reds involved in a check by the umpires of a ball, fair or foul, and they rule against Jay Bruce and the Reds, and the count now is 2-2. That's in the dirt. And Nate Robertson having all kinds of problems with his control here. At the outset of this game, he walked Joey Votto and picked him off in the first inning, and then walked Roland after the leadoff double by Phillips in this inning. And here's a ground ball base hit into right field. So it's not a home run, but it's still a hit. And there's still nobody out here in the second. Time now for the Cincinnati Bell trivia question. Text your answer of A, B, or C to 66128 for your chance to win a pair of Reds tickets, a $25 Skyline Chili gift card, and a free haircut from Great Clips. Brought to you by Cincinnati Bell's 3G network. Talk, text, and surf on the fastest network around. Are you ready?
Is the question ready? That's the key.
This is an interesting question here now, bro. Ground ball, broken bat, shortstop, Ramirez, Ugla, and Sanchez, and that is a double play. In 1969, the Reds made a trade with the Twins to get a pitcher, Jim Merritt, a trade that would have a major impact on the National League champions of 1970. Who did the Reds trade for Jim Merritt? Frank Duffy, Jimmy Stewart, or Leo Cardenas?
Jimmy Stewart.
No. Okay.
Leo Cardenas.
Leo Cardenas. That's your answer.
Yes.
Okay. 2 outs in the inning. Here's Bronson Arroyo, and first pitch fastball up, ball one. Why'd you change so fast?
I don't know. Gut instinct. Not that it's ever right.
Oh, sometimes it is. Sometimes, more often than not, that second guess is the wrong one.
Yeah. We shall see.
Leo Cardenas is your answer.
It is.
Too low for a ball. 2-1 the count. Pitcher against pitcher here in the second.
What do you think about my answer?
I'm not at liberty to divulge that answer. I know what the answer is. 3 balls and 1 strike. I never look at the answer.
Yeah, but most of the time you know it anyway.
I separate the cards, which are stapled, the question, and then the answer, which we go to in the 8th inning. And I always turn the card over so I don't see it because I like to play the game like you do. Here's a foul ball into the first base dugout, a 3-2 count. Did you have a nice day today?
I did.
Get up about 1:30, 1:45?
Actually, I got up at 7 and had a little walk and had a ham and cheese omelet.
Very nice. There is strike 3 call. Arroyo caught looking. First punch out for Robertson, but in the middle of the second, the Reds lead 3-0 on the Cincinnati Bell. Reds. Reds have a 3-0 lead thanks to a bomb by Johnny Gomes with 2 on. We're in the bottom of the second. Leading off the inning will be the hammer, the man who's gotten out of the gate big time for this Florida club, third baseman and former Red Jorge Cantu, then Dan Ugla, then Ronnie Paulino. And Arroyo's first pitch of the inning is swung on and missed as we welcome in the man who is all over whatever occurs with this Reds ball club. For MLB.com, our good friend, and we hope yours, Mark Sheldon. Mark, how are you?
Fantastic. Greetings, gentlemen. It's good to see you.
Are you doing all right?
Is what set up the winning run, so it was a nice thing that he's finding ways to help the team when he's not playing well, but he hasn't hit well at all this spring. He's been frustrated, you could tell. He struggled in spring training, he's struggling now a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, when you count spring training, this might be the longest slump that he's ever been involved in.
Absolutely. Good thing they don't count spring training.
No, thank goodness for that. Ronnie Paulino, 1 ball and no strikes. What else you got for me, pal? You are a font of information tonight.
It's a lot of pressure when you call me a font.
No, you just can't get a hard time. Pitches inside, 3 balls and no strikes.
It's put straight on the bullpen.
Ronnie Paulino draws the walk. The inning will continue for the right fielder, Cody Ross. Yeah, the Reds, and it's early, but I know Dusty addressed it on the radio show. Homer Bailey goes 5 innings last night for Johnny Cueto. He said we simply need to get more innings out of our starters, and not just 1 or 2 guys.
And the big problem for Cueto, at least, and Homer to some degree, is that there seems to be that one very large inning. Last night, Cueto had a 33-pitch inning, and that killed him. I think Homer had in his first start, his only start, he had a 27-pitch first inning, and those are the kind of things that can just absolutely spike the needle in your pitch count.
Yeah. 1 ball, no strikes. Cody Ross, 24 home runs, 90 RBIs last year, with a man at first base, and Arroyo now. All of a sudden, his control takes a hike. He's behind 2 balls and no strikes.
That wind is starting to blow directly into the face of Arroyo, and it's starting to make his ball dance a little bit too much.
Ross, a right-hand batter, and also a guy who had one time played for Cincinnati. There's a call strike. Dusty had an interesting point about the pitch count. Talked to Greg Maddux at some length years ago, and how every inning he goes out, his goal was no more than 13 pitches an inning.
Really?
Yeah.
It's I mean, you go figure 12 or 13 pitches over 8 innings, it's about 96 pitches.
That's correct. And he said that was his goal every single inning, 13 pitches, no more than that. Which means if you're going to equal or be under that goal, you've got to get ahead of the hitters. You can't go ball 1, ball 2.
Strike 1.
That's correct.
You got to strike 1 and probably just put the ball in play. Let your defense, especially with this new and improved defense, some Gold Glovers there.
Absolutely.
These guys should be able to pick it up, and the outfielders got a lot of range.
Yep. 2-2 pitch is down low and a full count.
That's also from the bullpen standpoint. If you want to be able to pitch more than just a couple of days in a row, then you stay away from those 35 and 40 pitch innings. You get them out in 10 to 12 pitches so you can pitch every day.
Runner at first base will be on the move. Paulino, 3-2 the count on Ross, with Gabby Sanchez coming up next, and there's a ground ball hit foul at third base. Dusty, here in the early going, really, I don't want to say he's being overly protective of Ramon Hernandez, but he is certainly keeping a watchful eye on him and giving him a blow almost not every other day, but he'll play 2 games and be off 1.
As far as I can remember, isn't Hannigan only started 2 games with Arroyo pitching, or has it been? I may have missed one when I was off over the weekend.
No, he missed. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he should be careful after that knee.
Line drive into left center field. That's a gap shot. That's going to get a run in. And going to second is Cody Ross, and it's a 3-1 ball game. So the 2 out base on balls and going 3-2 on Ross, enabling Paulino to run. Cost Bronson Arroyo a run, and that brings up the first baseman, Gabby Sanchez. Batting .250 with a home run and 4 runs batted in. Well, I know we talked about it in the past. The one good thing is that Hernandez doesn't have to play first base this season.
No, it doesn't look like it. And apparently that's what caused a lot more of his knee trouble than we knew about last year. I mean, if you pick your spots with him and with Hannigan, you can get more out of their bat, and they'll be fresher for the whole season. I mean, Hannigan's proven to be a very good defensive catcher. He needs to work a little bit on his hitting, especially in the clutch. But Hernandez is, if he's fresh and he's feeling good, he's going to be pretty good for this team, especially offense.
Do you think at any time this club was carrying 3 catchers coming out of the gate?
No.
Fly ball, who will catch it? Jay Bruce? Yes, he will, as he and Stubbs crisscross in right center field, and the inning is over. And, Mark, as always, we enjoyed this a little bit.
That's pretty much what you're going to see from Nate Robertson on a good inning, or a good at bat, I should say, for the pitcher's sake. He's not out there trying to trick you a whole lot. He's just moving the ball around and trying to get you out as quick as possible. Here's Cabrera. Breaking ball, backdoor, strike one. Started that one off the plate away from Cabrera and brought it right back to the outside corner. Then going there again. Change up, hit off the end of the bat into right field, and that's a base hit for the Reds shortstop. A one-out hit, and that'll bring Joey Votto to the plate. Robertson goes outside with 2 off-speed pitches, and the changeup got him in trouble as Cabrera was looking that way. Votto 7 for his last 27 coming into the ball game. 9 strikeouts. He walked his first time up and then was conveniently, or unconveniently I should say, picked off as he fouls off the first pitch. A fastball inside. Votto, when he's going good, he is peppering the ball into that left center field gap, and sometimes beyond the gap, as in into the seats, home run style. Change up and away from Votto. He'll take that one for a ball. That'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Reds on top, 3-1. 4 hits for the Reds thus far, and only 1 hit for the Marlins, and that Marlins hit came from the X-Red. Cody Ross driving in a run. Fastball hit on the ground, right to Ugla. Ugla to Ramirez, on across to Sanchez. 4-6-3 double play. And the Marlins are out of the third. It is 3-1. Reds on top of the Marlins as we head to the bottom of 3 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. As we head to the bottom of 3, let's pause for station ID on the Reds Radio Network. Nate Robertson stands in, takes the first pitch, fastball upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes, as Arroyo continues to try to make the adjustment as the wind has picked up, blowing in his face. Fastball inside, and for a pitcher like Arroyo, when the wind is blowing into your face, it makes the ball move a whole lot more when it gets to home plate. And that wind is continuing to pick up. Fastball upstairs, a swing and a miss by Nate Robertson. Count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Arroyo likes to be precise with that breaking ball and changeup location, and it's tough when that wind's blowing. Fastball away, just fouled off by the pitcher Robertson. Robertson throws it from the left side and bats from the right side. Arroyo looks into Hannigan for the sign. That big leg kick, here he comes. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. 1 down. Second strikeout for Arroyo. First one came on a changeup to Ugla. This one comes on the breaking ball. 1 down and back to the top of the order for the Marlins. This will be Chris Coughlin hitting from the left side. He fouled out in the first inning to Scott Rowland, just over beside the third base coaching box. Arroyo rocks and deals a breaking ball right down Broadway at 68 miles an hour. Strike 1. Right-hander gets the sign, moving quickly. Fastball downstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. Coughlin, as we said last year, was the 2009 Rookie of the Year. having a rough start so far as Arroyo bounces this changeup up there. And that wind continues to blow. It almost looks as though it's swirling down there on the field. You can see the long locks of Arroyo blowing every which way. Changeup hit down the left field line and foul. Coughlin has struck out 9 times. He's gotten off to a 5 for 34 start. Not exactly the same kind of start that he put together when he came up to the big leagues late last year. Breaking ball, he pops it up towards Phillips on the right side. Phillips makes the call, makes the catch, 2 down. It's the very best time to stop by UDF. Berry ice cream treats are on sale, including UDF's new berries and cream, and for a limited time, UDF's strawberry cheesecake ice cream. From second dip free berry cones and berry shakes to berry shortcake sundaes, it's berry picking time at UDF. Dairy Fresh, Dairy Fun, United Dairy Farmers. Cameron Maben stands in. Right-handed hitting center fielder takes a breaking ball for a strike. Maben with a couple of hits last night and a couple of strikeouts. Scored a run, and he tries to hit with 2 down. Fastball right down Broadway, and quickly Arroyo ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Waiting on deck is Hanley Ramirez, and you'd like to face him with nobody on, especially with Maben and the speed that he possesses. Fastball way upstairs. And that'll miss high as Arroyo drops way down from the side and tried to get Maben to chase that one up above the letters. A ball and 2 strikes. The pitch. Breaking ball off the end of the bat into center field. Here comes Stubbs. And Phillips is back to make the catch. Couple of fly balls to the right side off the end of the bat. And the Reds put them away. 3 up, 3 down. Another perfect inning for Arroyo. It's 3-1. Reds on top as we head to 4 on the Cincinnati Bell. Reds ready. And a fastball over the outside corner as Robertson works quickly. A fastball inside. That's a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rowland with a heck of a night here last night. First 2 at bats, hit it out of the ballpark. Another fastball in. 2 balls and a strike. And then wouldn't you know it, when the Reds needed and in a must-win situation, Rowland was at the plate to provide the game-winning hit. 3 consecutive fastballs in off the plate as they try to get the ball in on Rowland. 0-1 was the start. 3 in a row inside, and here's a 3-1. Fastball grounded to third, and Cantu plays it off his shin into left field. That is going to be an error. Not sure exactly what Cantu was seeing there. He backed up to start with, came in and just misplayed it. Hit him in the left shin. The ball ricocheted into left field, and the Reds have a runner aboard. We talked about the defense, or lack of, for this Florida Marlins ball club. You put the ball in play, you got a chance to get on base, and we see it right there. Fastball is in there for Johnny Gomes, a first pitch heater right down the heart of the plate. Gomes shakes his head. They look down at Mark Berry, both Rowland at first and Gomes, and a fastball catches the inside corner and quickly. Robertson ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 out in the inning came from the leadoff batter Phillips as he grounded out to Ugla. Rolling on base with the error by Cantu, and the 0-2 pitch to Gomes. Hit foul down the right field line, deep down the line, and out of play. Left-hander Nate Robertson, the former Detroit Tiger, working quite rapidly here in the top of the fourth. Fastball off the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gomes. Here's the 1-2, and it hits Gomes in the leg, a tad inside, and Gomes just let it hit him, and he'll hustle down to first base, and the Reds have 2 aboard. A 1-2 pitch, and Robertson got it in there a tad too far. So the Reds are in business once again. They'll bring Jay Bruce to the plate with runners at first and second base. Bruce singled after the long fly ball down the right field line. He takes the first pitch up and away. That's a ball. The Reds have had 4 different types of umpire reviewed calls. That's the first one here tonight that has been reversed. Here's the pitch. Fastball hit down the left field line, and it's slicing foul off the bullpen wall as it ricochets back onto the field of play, and Hanley Ramirez will quickly pick it up and return it to the ball boy down the left field line. Robertson is back on the mound. He's ready to go. Gomes at first base, rolling at second base. Double play depth for the Marlins on the infield. Ugla and Ramirez. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside corner right on the money. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Left-hander Robertson continues to fire it in there. He just gets the ball and gets the sign and comes with it. Fastball inside, popped up towards third base. Cantu comes on. He'll make the catch. And the runners will stay exactly where they are at first and second base. Gomes and Rowland. So a fastball gets right up underneath the hands of Jay Bruce. Pops it up to third for the second out. And it'll be up to Ryan Hannigan if the Reds are going to be doing any scoring here in the top of the fourth inning. Reds lead by 2, 3-1. 3-run home run by Johnny Gomes has put the Reds on the board. Marlins only have 1 hit on the night, and it came from the ex-Red Cody Ross. A double into the left center field gap as Hannigan takes strike 1. But that double scored Ronnie Polino with 2 outs. A 2-out walk to Polino and then a double by Ross. Marlins got on the board in the bottom of the second inning. 3-1, the pitch from Robertson. Fastball up and away. A ball and a strike to the number 8 hole hitter, Ryan Hannigan. Arroyo waits on deck. Hannigan grounded into a 6-4-3 double play his last time up. Here's the pitch. High fly ball, deep left field. It looks like a home run. It is. Oh, my goodness. Ryan Hannigan with a bust-out swing right there. 6-1 Reds. My, oh, my. Last year, Ryan Hannigan couldn't buy an RBI. This year, he is starting off hotter than a firecracker. A 3-run jack into the upper part of the lower deck in left field here at Sun Life Stadium in South Florida. Man, that was hammered. Here's Arroyo. Arroyo fouls the first pitch off and out of play. So the error, the hit by pitch, comes back to haunt the left-hander Robertson as he gives up another 3-run jack to a Red. Swing and a miss. Arroyo, a fastball up and away. First home run of the year for Ryan Hannigan, his 4th RBI. Second, third, and fourth as Arroyo strikes out on the breaking ball. The Reds put 3 more on the board. It is 6-1 as we head to the bottom of 4 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Reds have a couple of 3-run jacks coming off the bat of Johnny Gomes in the second, and then a 3-run home run by Ryan Hannigan in the top half of this inning, the top half of the 4th, and the Reds lead 6-1. Gomes and Hannigan playing a little hammer time. Hanley Ramirez, the 3-hole hitter for the Marlins, set to lead things off for the Fish here in the top of the 4th. They trail by 5 early. Bronson Arroyo on the mound for the Reds. Nate Robertson for the Marlins. First pitch is a breaking ball. It stays high. 1 ball and no strikes. It'll be Ramirez, Cantu, and Danny Ugla. All hitless on the night, their first time around, and this will be the second time they face Arroyo tonight. Breaking ball right down Broadway, strike 1. Arroyo seems to be adjusting to the wind. Started to kick up there in the middle of the second inning. And it's still blowing, but Arroyo seems to be making the pitches he needs to make. Fastball, outside corner, strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The wind is blowing hard enough in the face of Arroyo that his long hair is pretty much standing up. It is blowing straight out to center field. The pitch. Fastball hit towards right field. Jay Bruce on his horse. Is he going to get there? No, it's foul. A great hustle by the right fielder, Bruce. He made a great jump as the ball was heading down the line. And it just did slice foul at the last moment, and Bruce tried to make a sliding catch, and it just evaded him by about a foot. So that'll be just a long strike for one Hanley Ramirez as he comes back to the plate. He'll pick up his baseball bat, and they'll do it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Arroyo faces the leadoff hitter Ramirez here. In the top of the 4th inning, Ramirez leading off. He's in the 3rd spot. The pitch. Breaking ball off the plate away. That'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ramirez 9 for 25 coming into the ball game. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He stands in, waves the bat. He's ready. Here comes Arroyo. Change up, and it bounces up there, and the count is full. Three balls and 2 strikes for Arroyo, and with a 5-run lead, you don't want to walk anybody. And Arroyo will check back in with Hannigan. He'll get the sign. He's ready. Here's the pitch. Ground ball down the 3rd baseline. Roland's got it. He fires falling backwards, and they will not get Ramirez. That's going to be a base hit. A tough play for Roland. Could not get his feet set. He had to throw as his body was going backwards as he made the catch. And the speed of Ramirez gets himself a base hit. That'll bring Jorge Cantu to the plate with a runner aboard. Cantu has been the Marlins' hottest hitter thus far, hitting at a .321 clip. Couple of home runs, but 12 RBIs. Grounded out to Roland his first time up. Here's the first pitch. A changeup right over the heart of the plate, and that's a strike. A steady diet of changeups the first go-round for Cantu. And he hit about a 5-hopper to Roland over at third. Cantu's got 5 doubles so far. 2 home runs, of course, and the 12 RBIs. Roland comes to the reset, the pitch, and Arroyo puts that baby right in there on the money. Change-up away, fastball in, and quickly Arroyo is ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Ramirez takes his lead at first, and here's the pitch. Cantu swing and a miss. Nice breaking ball from Arroyo. That baby took a left turn right at home plate. 1 down. All right, Reds fans, try new Great American Ballpark lawn fertilizer and grass seed mix by Scott's. It contains the same fertilizer technology and grass seed varieties used at the park. Learn more and save up to $4 at reds.com/lawn. Scott's, it's the official lawn care company of the Cincinnati Reds. Here's Danny Uggla with 1 down. Right-handed hitting second baseman with Ramirez at first base. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside corner, and that's right on the money. No balls and a strike. Arroyo continuing to mix it up. A lot of change-ups early in the ball game and breaking balls. And a few more fastballs as we move along. But as we often note, Arroyo has that baby dancing. Here's the pitch, a curveball, and that'll catch the outside corner as he drops down about belt high and slings that baby up there sidearm. No balls and 2 strikes to Uggla. Ramirez is yet to move over there at first base as he takes about a 2-step lead. 1 out in the inning. Arroyo looking for the double play from Uggla. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball upstairs, hit high into the air. Short right center field. Here comes Bruce, and he makes the catch. With the wind blowing, it's hard to read where the baseball goes as it heads up into the air. It looks like the ball's going to be deep, but if the infielders don't come out, that ball's got a chance to drop. A good hustle by Jay Bruce to come in to put away Uggla. 2 down. Ronnie Polino steps in. He walked his first time up and came around to score on the double by Cody Ross. Ramirez at first base. Here's the pitch, a breaking ball. Hit almost in the same spot. This time Phillips back. He'll make the catch. And that's it for the Marlins as Arroyo continues to mix them up. It is 6-1. Reds on top of the Marlins as we head to 5 on the Cincinnati Bell. Reds. So far through 4, the Reds are walking the dog over the Marlins at 6-1. And back with a play-by-play, here's Marty Brenneman.
Thank you very much, Jeff. It'll be the top of the batting order. Drew Stubbs will lead it off. Grounded to shortstop, struck out. And the first pitch from Nate Robertson is up high for ball 1. The 3-run home run has been the big thing tonight for this Reds club. Here's a high pop behind first and out of play. 3-run bomb by Johnny Gomes in the second. A 3-run home run by Ryan Hannigan in the 4th inning. That coupled with some very, very good pitching through the first 4 by Bronson Arroyo, and that's the reason why the Reds have a 5-run lead. Strike 2 call. Robertson into the windup and back to the plate. Got a swing and a foul. Will keep Stubbs around. Came into this game batting .240 with a home run and 5 runs batted in. Hit the grand slam last week. Trying to get aboard here to begin the inning, and instead hits a mile-high pop-up on the right side of the infield. Gabby Sanchez in foul ground, and now they say it was fair when he caught it, and there's 1 away. That brings up Cabrera, who's 1 for 2 on the night, had a base hit in the 3rd inning. You can save up to $1 a gallon on fuel exclusively at Kroger. Just shop at Kroger to earn points. For every 100 points you earn, You'll save 10 cents a gallon at any Kroger fuel center, all the way up to $1 a gallon. See your nearest Kroger for details. Ground ball hit hard to short. Ramirez dialing up Sanchez, and they're 2 up and 2 down. Joey Votto has walked. He's also bounced into a double play tonight. Robertson due to bat third in the bottom of the inning. Be interesting to see what Freddie Gonzalez opts to do. Both of these managers had to go deep into their bullpen last night. That's why Dusty was talking about the absolute necessity, as Robertson throws Votto a strike, of getting a lot of innings tonight. What he said, the nicest thing would be a laugher. Just have a blowout. And the Reds are up 5 right now. Here's a high fly ball along the left field line. 3 converging on it. And Cantu goes into foul territory to make the catch and end the inning. So the Reds are up and down in order, and we go to the bottom of the 5th. Reds leading 6-1 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds.
TryChevy.com.
We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Cody Ross leading it off, and the first pitch from Bronson Arroyo is what it normally is, and that's a called strike. Ross with a double to knock in what has been the only Marlins run, and whoa, that pitch was up and in, and it hit Ross. And he heads on down to first base. That pitch really got away from Bronson Arroyo.
Fastball as they tried to go in on Cody Ross, and that baby just took off.
Here's Gabby Sanchez. The bullpen is busy for Florida, which would seemingly indicate that Freddie Gonzalez is going to pinch hit for Robertson, but we'll see. That pitch is up and in. Sanchez fly to right to end the 2nd. Arroyo's given up 2 hits, 1 run. Reds lead by a 6-5 score. We're in the bottom of the 6-1 score rather. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Now the pitch, and that's a line drive fair down the left field line. That's going to be for extra bases. Ross heading toward third. He will be held up. And coasting into second base with a stand-up double is Gabby Sanchez. So the lower part of the batting order getting to Bronson Arroyo here in the bottom of the 5th inning as the Marlins try to come off the mat trailing by 5 runs. And Mike Lamb is going to come to the plate to bat for Nate Robertson.
Well, I can understand Arroyo going in on a veteran hitter because of the many times that he throws the off-speed stuff out over the plate. But for Gabby Sanchez, this is only the 2nd time he's seen him, and he comes in for a strike, and Sanchez smoked that baby.
So Bronson with his work cut out for him here. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. The veteran Lamb, left-hand batter, feet spread wide apart and waiting and taking the breaking ball for a strike.
Lamb has played for the Rangers. He's played for the Houston Astros. This might be his first trip out of the state of Texas.
Minnesota and Milwaukee.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Here's a high drive and foul. Interesting, though, he spent the entire 2009 season with AAA Buffalo. Made this ball club as a non-roster player. And trying to put a hurt on Bronson Arroyo here in the 5th inning. Quick trip to the mound by Brian Hannigan. The inning began with Cody Ross being hit by a pitch. And then Sanchez with a double into the left field corner. 2 strikes and nothing as Arroyo pauses and pitches and misses up and in a ball. Checking scores of other games brought to you by Montgomery Inn. Montgomery Inn is offering $5 off any rib entree or rib combination. Go to montgomeryinn.com for your coupon. The pitch. That's in the dirt, and it's 2-2. Finals from midday action. The Tigers knocked off the Royals 6-5. The Yankees with a 7-5 win over the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And in the National League today, the Dodgers celebrated their home opener with a 9-5 win over Arizona. Casey Blake, Manny Ramirez, Andre Ethier, and Kemp all homer for the Yankees. Mark Reynolds hit his third for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Arroyo had him in a hole at 0-2. Now the 2-2 pitch, and there's ball 3. Games going on tonight in the American League. Tampa Bay trailing in Baltimore 1-0 at the end of 5. Toronto with 2 runs in the 5th and continuing to bat in that inning with a 4-0 lead on the Chicago White Sox. Arroyo with his first shaky inning of the ball game. And a big 3-2 pitch coming here, and did it hit him? Check swing. Foul ball, and Lamb will step back in with a count holding at 3-2.
I don't know if Lamb hit the ball or if the ball hit his bat, because that was a breaking ball up and in. He tried to hold up, and the ball just kept hunting for that wood.
Well, he's having a rather elongated conversation with plate umpire Jeff Kellogg. Top of the batting order coming up after we find out what Lamb does. Runners leading at second and third. Swinging. Ground ball behind the mound. Arroyo gets it. Throws to first. Run scores. Coming in from third, Cody Ross. Staying at second base, Gabby Sanchez. And the ground out by Lamb makes it 6-2 with 1 out. And leadoff batter Chris Coughlin coming up.
Lamb didn't get much of it, but he got just enough to send Arroyo behind the mound, and no chance for a play at home to get Ross no matter what.
So now Coughlin, he's fouled out to third. He's popped up to second. The pitch. 2 low, ball 1. Arroyo sitting right now on 72 pitches. Long look down to Ryan Hannigan. Left-handed batter waiting at the plate. Runner leading, and the pitch a breaking ball for a strike. Reds finish things off here on Thursday night and then head north to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday night will be the second start for Mike Leake after that outstanding outing on Sunday against the Chicago Cubs at home. He will tee it up against left-hander Zach Dupe with Johnny Cueto facing right-hander Ross Ohlendorf. And there's some question about whether or not Ohlendorf might go on the disabled list. Here's a line drive foul down the right field line. And then Sunday, Bronson Arroyo would come back against left-hander Paul Maholm. One and 2 the count on Chris Coughlin. Waiting on deck, Cameron Maben. A run is in for the Marlins here in the 5th inning. Reds in front 6-2. And Arroyo slowing his pace down radically in this inning, trying to get out of it with only 1 run scoring. That pitch is way inside.
Arroyo's gone in there twice now, once with the breaking ball that Coughlin pulled hard foul. That was a fastball to brush him back a little bit. He's trying to set up that backdoor breaking ball or the changeup away from Coughlin.
Coughlin staying right in that batter's box. Ground ball right side. Phillips waits. He gets and he throws, and there are 2 men out as the runner advances to third base. The place to be this baseball season, the Kroger Bleachers at Great American Ballpark. Ticket prices start at just $7. And for additional savings, plan a group outing of 25 or more. Get your tickets now to enjoy the party at the ballpark in the Kroger Bleachers by calling 381-REDS or go to reds.com. So now Cameron Maben steps in with 2 out. Gabby Sanchez now at third base. Arroyo continues out of the stretch and a swing and a miss. Nice conversation with this young man. Very, very personable. His cousin is Rashad McCants, who was an outstanding basketball player at the University of North Carolina. And I asked Cameron, I said, are you a Tar Heel fan? He said, oh, yeah. He said, Roy Williams recruited me to play basketball while he was head coach at the University of Kansas.
Wow.
I said, you must have been a pretty good basketball player. He said, I was okay. He said, but I opted to play baseball.
Okay. Hey, if Roy's recruiting you,
no kidding.
You better than okay.
Yeah. 1 ball and 1 strike. Checking the runner, pitching, taking a strike. Maben tonight has bounced back to Arroyo. He's also popped out to Phillips.
They have got him mixed up right now. He throws a breaking ball and he swings and misses. He takes and they throw him a fastball right down the middle.
That's a breaking ball way outside. 2-2 the count. So Arroyo is now at the 80-pitch mark. I would imagine under the circumstances they would give him 110, wouldn't you think?
Yes.
Here's a pitch. Just missing the outside corner. I don't think Bronson wants to have to face Hanley Ramirez with 2 men on. So a big pitch coming up right here as he's gone 3-2 on Maben. And here comes that payoff pitch. And it's a base hit into left field and a run is in. Just out of the reach of Orlando Cabrera. It is now 6-3. And he's going to have to face Ramirez after all.
Well, he knew he had to throw him a breaking ball there because of the wild swings that Maben's had thus far on the breaking ball, but he had to throw it for a strike, and that's what got him in trouble. Getting to that 3-2 count, he couldn't expand the zone, and Maben just swept that bat right through there and picked up the RBI.
So now Ramirez, 1 for 2 on an infield base hit behind third base in the last inning. Reds will be hitting off a new pitcher when they come to bat in the 6th. But right now, Florida doing its level best to make a ball game out of it. Here's a throw on to first. Maben back. Has attempted only 1 stolen base and was successful in that endeavor. So Arroyo wastes no time throwing over to Joey Votto, and now Ramirez steps back in.
Boy, Maben is way out there.
Yep. Here's a pitch. That's a strike away. 6 runs, 5 hits for the Reds, 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for Florida. Reds began the day 1 game behind the Cardinals. They have a day off after having a win in their home opener at Busch Stadium yesterday. So a victory tonight by the Reds would get them to within 1/2 game of the top spot in the NL Central. Another throw on to first, safe again.
Maben is definitely getting a much larger lead than what he got last night. And I think something's wrong with him, Marty.
He's been over at the waist in foul territory, and the first base coach is attending to him. And now the trainer comes out of the dugout and goes over to find out exactly what might be wrong. And apparently Maben said, I'm fine.
Must have got some dirt or something up into the eye as he came back into the bag.
A name that all Reds fans would be more than a little familiar with is the first base coach of this Florida club, Dave Collins. It was a very important part of that 1979 league champion team managed by John McNamara. Fly ball center going back, and Stubbs makes, no, he could not make the catch. Ball cleared him. A run will score, making it 6-4, and Ramirez at second base with a double.
Boy, Stubbs misjudged that one.
Badly.
Broke in almost 2 steps, and ball looked like it was just going to be a routine line drive to center field, and that baby just kept on going.
Sure did. I thought when the ball left the bat it was going to be caught easily, and Stubbs simply could not track it down, and now Brian Price is at the mound talking to Arroyo and Ryan Hannigan. 3 runs on the board here in the inning. And the Marlins have come storming back against Bronson Arroyo, and they hope they're not done yet. Jorge Cantu will be at the plate after this meeting at the mound breaks up. This inning all began with Cody Ross being hit by a pitch. And it has pretty much gone downhill for Bronson Arroyo since then. Cantu, ground ball to third, strikeout swinging. He's got a streak on the line in this game. He's had RBIs in every game out of the gate. That is 7 games in a row for the Marlins in which he has had 1 or more runs batted in. And that ties a club record. Cliff Floyd originally did it years ago as a member of this Florida ball club. So here is Cantu with Ramirez having knocked in only his 4th run of the season, and the first pitch is taken, ball 1.
Well, even with the 2 3-run homers that the Reds have, the Marlins are 1 swing away right now from tying this game up.
Yes, they are. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That's a strike. Even count at 1 ball, 1 strike. No, make that ball 2. 2-0. Bronson Arroyo now approaching the 90-pitch mark. This has been a long inning for the Reds right-hander, and a line drive into left field, base hit. They're going to wave the runner around. Here comes the throw to the plate. He's going to be safe. Slid away from the tag and got in there, and it's a 1-run ball game, and all of this coming after 2 were out, or at least the last 3 runs have. Johnny Gomes made a very good throw. It just stayed in the air too long.
Well, he charged the ball well. He came up and a nice throw. The only part, it was just up the first base side of the bag ever so slightly. But with the speed of Ramirez, it had to have been a perfect throw to get him.
So Bronson Arroyo has almost blown a 5-run lead here. 6-1 when the inning began. 6-5 now, and Dan Ugla steps in. So a new club record for Jorge Cantu, RBIs in 8 straight games to begin the season. And now it looks like Micah Owings will get up to begin throwing in the Reds bullpen. Ugla hits a very high fly ball, going out in shallow left center to make the play, Cabrera. But the Marlins have batted their way back in the game. They score 4 times, and at the end of 5, it's now 6-5 Reds on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
New pitcher for the Florida Marlins is another left-hander. He'll take over for the starter and left-hander Nate Robertson. The Marlins are right back in this at 6-5. The man's name is Reniel Pinto. Left-handed pitcher, number 37. Put up some career numbers last year, highs in wins, games. How about this? He pitched in 73 ball games last year, and he was on the DL for 24 games and still pitched in 73. Wow. No wonder he was on the DL.
Well, his job now is to try and keep the Reds right where they are. The Reds have lived by the 3-run home run tonight. They've had 2 of them, but all of a sudden their lead has gone from 5 to 1. And Brandon Phillips with a double in 2 times up leads off the 6th inning. And he takes a fastball inside for ball 1. Pinto appearing in his 4th game, no record, a 6.75 earned run average. So a slow start to begin the year for this hard-throwing left-hander. That one is looped into right field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. So Brandon Phillips with a 2-hit night. And that's got to do an awful lot for his psyche.
Well, the first AB was the great one because he kept fouling balls off with some authority down the right field line and kind of just kept moving that ball closer and closer before he hit that gap in right center.
Here now is Scott Rowland, a walk and a run scored. He reached on an error and also scored a run again. 2 home runs, a single to lead the Reds to the win in 10 innings here last night. Here's a pitch to him, and it's inside, ball 1. The hits now are even at 6 apiece. Scott Rowland steps out, checks things out with third base coach Mark Berry, gets back in the box. Infield, a double play depth. The Marlins have already turned 1 tonight. Phillips taking the lead and leaning. And the pitch and a swing and a high pop-up going out into shallow left center. Backing out is Ramirez to make the one-handed grab. Our friends at Duke Energy have lots of low-cost, no-cost things you can do to make your home more energy efficient. And one of them is, well, as easy as screwing in a light bulb. A GE Energy Star qualified CFL bulb, because it uses about 1/4 of the energy it takes to produce the same amount of light as an incandescent bulb. Johnny Gomes, a 3-run homer. He's been hit by a pitch. He has scored twice. Low and inside, 1 ball, no strikes. That stirring around we had in the Reds bullpen toward the latter stages of that Marlins 5th inning is now grown quiet again. Micah Owings had come out of his jacket, but nothing happening right now. The Royals got to have a big bounce back bottom of this inning. Long hold, and time has been called by Gomes. He backs away. Phillips yet to show any indication at all he wants to try and run on this left-hander Pinto. Here's a pitch. Swinging, fly ball, right center field. It'll hang up, and Cody Ross will go get it. Jay Bruce with a 1-hit in 2 times up night working will stand in. So a leadoff single by Phillips, and 2 outs later, he's still at first base. And here's Bruce, who had a home run overruled in the 2nd inning. It was first ruled a home run to right down the line, then 3 umpires went underneath to take a look at the video replays from a number of different angles and came back and said, nope, it's a foul ball, causing Jay to come back off the bench and go to the plate and had a base hit to right field. It is the 5th time that the Reds have been involved in a home run ruling such as that, and the ruling has been in their favor on 3 of those 5 occasions. But not tonight. Check swing, call strike. The Reds 6 and the Marlins 5 were in the top of the 6th inning at Sun Life Stadium. 2 out, Reniel Pinto in the mound for the first time tonight, and a good breaking ball down and away, and Jay Bruce with a swing and a miss. Second baseman Dan Uggla playing very, very deep. Pitch way outside. Bruce settles back in. Waiting on the 1-ball, 2-strike delivery. Pinto studies the sign, dropped down by Ronnie Paulino. Still looking, now stretches. And to the plate he comes after a check of Phillips. And a very high fly ball will probably end the inning. Coming on to play is a left fielder, and he will make a basket catch. Chris Coughlin, after a long run, and made the catch bell tie to end the inning. After 5.5, 6-5 Reds on the Cincinnati Bell. Get your gear straight from the source. Shop the Reds.com shop right now. Ronnie Paulino opening up the bottom of the 6th. Arroyo trying to come back after a rough 5th inning in which he allowed 4 runs, enabling the Marlins to get right back in this bad boy. And the first pitch to Paulino is up and in, ball 1. That's a strike.
All right, fans, it is time for Axe Marty.
Get the axe out. Let's rock and roll.
Where you can ask the Hall of Famer to give his thoughts on any subject, baseball, non-baseball.
Grounded to third. There's a pick by Rowland, and the throw on to first in time. 1 out.
Tonight's question comes from Libby in Madison, Indiana.
Yes, indeed, Libby.
She would like to ask Marty, are the Nuxall family members still involved with baseball or the Reds? She says she misses Nuxie and just was curious about his family.
As a matter of fact, his son Kim, the youngest of the 2 boys, Phil's the oldest, Kim's the youngest, and Phil is doing just a wondrous, marvelous job of perpetuating the name and the quality of man that Joe Nuxall was through the Joe Nuxall Foundation, the scholarship, everything that goes in of a charitable nature that has Joe's name on it. Kim's just a special guy. He and his wife Bonnie and Joe's wife Donzetta is doing fine, and they just do a great job. And I salute what Kim Nuxall has done to keep his dad's name in front of the folks throughout Reds country. It's just been an amazing thing.
There will never be another Nuxie.
Never be anybody like that for me, I'll tell you that.
Good as they come.
Yep. 2 strikes and nothing to count on Cody Ross, and the breaking ball stays outside for a ball.
If you'd like to suggest a topic for Axe Marty, baseball or non-baseball, please send it via email to RedsOnRadio@Reds.com. To hear some of the best of Axe Marty, go to Reds.com/radio. Thank you to the folks at CBTS, the Cincinnati Bell Company. Technology solutions for your business.
Foul ball by Ross. Joe's oldest son, Phil, is the historian for Spring Grove Cemetery out on Spring Grove Avenue in Cincinnati. And you talk about a bright guy now. Those of you who know Phil Nuxall know what I'm talking about. He's just both the Nuxall boys are special guys. Ground ball back to the mound, fielded by Arroyo, throwing on to first, and they're 2 out. Fans, make sure to enter Western and Southern Financial Group's triple play giveaway throughout the season. Western and Southern is giving away great Reds prizes, and you can win a game in their luxury suite for you and 10 friends, if you have that many. Visit WSLife.com/Reds to enter.
What'd you say?
Well, if you got that
many.
many.
Have 10 friends.
Yeah, if you have that many.
If you don't, invite some of your wife's friends.
Yeah, well, that'll work. Here's Gabby Sanchez, ball 1.
As long as they're good looking. You don't want any mullions up there now.
You're killing me. Stop. Stop. 1 ball and no strikes. And there's a strike. 1-1.
Don't want to get associated with anybody not make you look good.
Bronson Arroyo looking good here in the 6th inning. He had to come back big, and he's retired the first 2 batters on ground balls. Sanchez waves through it. He was a factor in the last inning, had a double down the left field line. Reds in front 6-5. sixth inning, Sun Life Stadium here in Florida.
How many names does this stadium have? About 14?
Seven.
Seven?
They showed them on television. We saw the screen lit up with 7 different names. Ground ball short. Here's a play by Cabrera, throwing, and a good inning for Bronson Arroyo. 3 up, 3 down. He's sitting on 100 pitches for the night as we go to the top of the 7th inning. 6-5 Reds on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. On we go to the top of the 7th inning, and the second inning of work for Reniel Pinto, facing a man who cracked a 3-run home run his last time up, Ryan Hannigan. Back with a play-by-play. Here's Jeff.
Thank you, Marty. Reniel Pinto trying to shut down the Reds, and the Reds trying to get some more insurance on the board. You would think coming in that 6 would get it. Well, tonight it's 6-5, and the Reds need some more. Put a little cushion in between the Marlins. The first pitch is a fastball up and away to Ryan Hannigan. Arthur Rhodes begins to throw down in the Reds bullpen. Hannigan, and Arroyo is scheduled to be the second batter in the inning. He has yet to move out into the on-deck circle. Fastball up and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Ryan Hannigan. Hannigan, in the short time that he has played here in 2010, he is hitting at a 500 clip with a home run and 4 RBIs. 3 coming tonight. Fastball way up and away. 3 balls and no strikes, and Reniel Pinto is just about to dig himself some trouble. 8th batter in the lineup with the pitcher on deck. And even if the Reds could muster 1 insurance run, they would like to have that. Reds lead 6-5. Here's the 3-0. Fastball right down Broadway, belt high, strike 1. 3 balls and a strike to Ryan Hannigan. Hannigan is grounded into a double play, and as we said, hit a 3-run jack back in the 4th to put the Reds up 6-1. 3-1 pitch, way inside, and Pinto walks him. And let's pause for station identification on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Bronson Arroyo will bat for himself, if for no other reason than to put down a bunt, as Jorge Cantu comes way in on the grass at third base. Turning around and fouling that pitch off is Arroyo. Fastball up and away from Reniel Pinto. Hannigan's at first base via the base on balls. And the order of business now is for Arroyo to get a bunt down, preferably down the first base line, as Gabby Sanchez, the Marlins first baseman, holds on Hannigan. Pinto comes to the set. The left-hander checks the runner twice. The pitch, and it's in there for strike 2, and Arroyo backs away, shaking his head. No balls and 2 strikes as Hannigan and Arroyo check out third base coach Mark Berry as he runs through the signs. And Arroyo will stand back in. He's probably bunting no matter what. The left-hander checks the runner, the pitch, and it's right down Broadway. And Arroyo, I'm not sure what he was doing, but he just took 3 in the heart of the plate. Strikes him out. 3rd time tonight that Arroyo is struck out. Must not have been able to pick the ball up at all. I think that's very unusual for Bronson to take 2 fastballs right in the heart of the plate when he's trying to bunt. 1 down. Hannigan still at first base. Back to the top of the order for Drew Stubbs. Fastball right over the outside corner, right at the knees, and that's a strike to the right-handed hitting center fielder. Jose Veras, right-handed reliever for the Marlins, begins to hurl down in their bullpen. Pinto comes to the set. He checks Hannigan, the pitch. Fastball up and away, swing and a miss. Pinto, as he sets in that stretch, he is really hunched over, and when he comes out, The Reds batters seem to be having a difficult time picking up the baseball. Here's the 0-2. Off the plate away. Looked like he tried to turn that one over. An 83 mile an hour off-speed pitch. Ran away from Stubbs. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. The infield is at double play depth. Ramirez in, Ugly in at shortstop and second. Hannigan takes his lead. Pinto will check him once, now twice. Left-hander picks up the mitt, and he bounces that one up there. That'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reds lead 6-5 on a pair of 2 3-run home runs. One off the bat of Johnny Gomes in the second. One coming from the man standing at first base now, Ryan Hannigan, in the fourth. That was swing and a miss on a changeup down and away. And Stubbs goes fishing for the second out of the inning, both coming via the strikeout. And that's the second time tonight that Stubbs has struck out. 2 down, here's Orlando Cabrera. Reds really trying to get something going here. Hannigan's at first base. He has a leadoff walk, and Arroyo struck out, and then Stubbs struck out. Pinto kicks and deals. Fastball catches the inside corner, and Cabrera doesn't like that call. There are 2 traditions Cincinnati fans have grown to love for generations: Reds baseball and JTM beef hoagies. Grab a bag today and taste the tradition. JTM, food, family, and fun. The 0-1 pitch from Pinto is way inside. A 92 mile an hour heater. That was a heat seeker heading towards the right leg of Orlando Cabrera. He just did get it out of the way. 6 hits apiece for both the Marlins and the Reds. But the Reds have that decisive figure, and that's a 1-run lead with a runner at first base. 2 down. The pitch is up and away. Cabrera started to go, and he stopped. And that'll move the count to 2 balls and a strike. Pinto either misses down and in or up and away. Left-hander with a definite funky delivery. He comes to the set. Hannigan takes his lead. Here's the pitch. Ground ball headed to Cantu at third. He goes to the second, and they'll get him. Fielder's choice, 5-4, retires the Reds. Here in the 7th, we'll head to the bottom of the inning. Reds lead by 1 over the Marlins on the Cincinnati Bell. Reds ready.
Found them.
Arthur Rhodes, the left-handed setup man for the Reds, will come on here in the 7th. The right-hander Bronson Arroyo, he's done, but he is the pitcher of record at this moment. It'll be the number 9-hole hitter for the Marlins, and they will bring to the plate Emilio Bonifacio. Switch hitting infielder, came in last night's ball game in the very same type of situation. He has yet to get a hit here in 2010. But he is quick and he can run. Shown by the signs that both Votto and Roland are way in on the grass. Rhodes delivers a fastball right over the inside corner, and he jumps ahead. No balls and a strike. Bonifacio, Chris Coughlin, and Cameron Maben due to face Rhodes here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Left-hander pitches, ground ball weakly to the shortstop. Cabrera comes up, fires across to Votto. 2 pitches, 1 out for the left-hander Rhodes. Reds baseball is brought to you by Toyota and the full-size Toyota Tundra, the truck with the highest retained value in its class. For the latest offers or a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com. Chris Coughlin will step in. He's 0 for 3 on the night. The left-hander points the bat out towards center field. He'll stand in the box. Here's Rhodes. Fastball outside corner. Strike 1 as Coughlin tried to bunt the ball down the third baseline, and immediately as he slid that left hand up the bat, Roland was charging. No balls and a strike. Rhodes out of the stretch. The leg kick. Pitch. Fastball hit in the air down the left field line. Gomes giving chase. Nice running catch as he makes the catch just as he crosses the line way down that left field area where the grass ends and the warning track begins. 2 down. Left-hander hitting that ball down the left field line, and that ball continues to fade. Gomes got a good jump, made a nice running catch. Logan Andrusic warming up for the Reds down in the pen. Reds trying to get through the last 3 innings here and hold on to this 1-run lead. Cameron Maben takes the first pitch fastball right at the knees, right down Broadway. Strike 1. 6-5, the Reds are on top. A big 4-run fifth for the Marlins brought them all the way back. And they are knocking at the door. Left-hander deals, fastball up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Maben stands back in. He singled and scored his last time up. Hit a breaking ball on a 3-2 pitch off of Arroyo into left field to drive in a run. This one hit down the right field line into the Marlin bullpen foul. Maben has really made a great adjustment in his swing pattern getting to the baseball. He was long and loopy when he first got to the big leagues. He has now really shortened up that bat, really trying to get the bat head to the baseball in quick fashion. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rhodes comes to the set. Maben ready to go. Here's the pitch. Fastball inside, and he struck him out. He got a piece of it, but Hannigan holds on. 3 up, 3 down for the veteran Rhodes, and we'll head to the 8th. Reds on top by 1, 6-5 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Number 43, Jose Veras is on the mound. He is 1-0. That win came in his last appearance against the Dodgers, even though he gave up a run. He struck out a couple of batters, pitched 1 inning. He comes into this ball game having pitched 3 2/3 innings. He has walked 4, given up 4 hits, and allowed 6 earned runs. Back with the play-by-play, here's Marty Brenneman.
Thank you very much, Jeff. It'll be Joey Votto leading it off. Walked back in the first inning. Since that time, has bounced into a double play and popped up. So his offensive problems continue. Votto is now 1 for his last 17. Had a tremendous start following up on the way he finished out spring training, but boy, the wheels have fallen off big time. So he settles in to try and help the Reds expand this lead to more than the one that they have right now, and the first pitch to him is up and away for a ball. Reniel Pinto, 2 innings, allowed a hit, struck out a couple of batters, so he did his job. Votto waiting on the 1-0 delivery from the big right-hander Veras and takes a strike, 1-1.
Reds looking for some insurance, any way, fashion, or form.
Votto pointing that bat out towards center field. Now waiting with the bat cocked and the pitch on the way and the swing and a line drive over third down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Chasing it into the corner is Chris Coughlin, going to second base and taking the turn and slamming on the brakes. He had ideas about going to third. Coughlin had trouble coming up with that ball down in the corner, but Joey threw on the brakes, and he has opened the 8th inning with a 2-base hit.
Not a bad pitch by Veras, a sinking fastball down and away. And Votto looked like he wasn't going to swing until the last minute. He just flung the bat out there and shot it right down the left field line.
Quick trip out to the mound by Ronnie Paulino as Brandon Phillips steps in. He doubled and scored back in the second, bounced out to second in the fourth, and single to right in the 6th inning. And let's see how the Reds play it here after the leadoff double to left by Votto. A stretch by Veras, a look back that way, the pitch, and he shows bunt and takes the bat away, ball 1. Well, he got down 2 dandies last night, one for a base hit, and the critical sacrifice bunt in the 10th inning that paved the way for the game-winning single by Scott Rowland.
Well, he wants to do anything to get that runner to third. Either hit it to the right side or bunt it there.
Here's a stretch in the pitch. And a foul ball back, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, he was trying to shoot it that way.
Sure
the
was.
ball was in on his hands, and he's still trying to hit it to the right side.
Gabby Sanchez pulled well off the line, about even with the bag at first base. And Jorge Cantu now coming up a step or 2 or 3. Almost even with the bag at third. Ramirez at shortstop, Uggla at second, at double play depth. And now Phillips calls time, and Votto retreats to the bag at second base. Reds 6, Marlins 5, top of the 8th. Veras sights a sign. Paulino setting up on the outside part of the plate, now comes back inside, and a line drive to right field. That's a base hit. That will get Votto in. It will send Phillips on to second. Back-to-back doubles to begin the 8th inning. Votto and Phillips, and the Reds lead it 7-5.
Just a good job of hitting there by Brandon Phillips. A great idea when you come to the plate to shoot the ball the other way. Veras does you a favor and gives you a fastball out over the plate. Next thing you know, you're standing at second, and here comes Rowland.
So a 3-hit night tonight for Brandon Phillips. And we might, on this Tuesday night, April 13th, be witnessing his turning the corner and getting back to the Brandon Phillips at the plate that we've grown accustomed to. Here's Rowland, and the pitch, and it's a bouncer, slowly hit, and the pitcher has it come off of his glove. He's able to pick it up and underhand to Gabby Sanchez to retire Rowland. But the important thing is it gets Phillips to third base.
Marty, you just love to watch your guys do the right thing. Phillips is doing it, ends up with a double because he's trying to get the ball to the right side. Rowland comes up there, gets the ball to the right side, and now you've got a chance to not only pad the lead by 1, but 2.
Left-hander Dan Meyer warming up in the Florida bullpen. And here's Johnny Gomes with a 3-run home run. He's 1 for 2 and will be hitting against an infield pulled in tight. Veras will work from the stretch, pitching. Gomes swinging and missing 0-1. No ifs, ands, or but about it. You got to get that runner in from third base. You saw Rowland do a sensational job hitting the ball the other way to get Phillips to third. And now Gomes waiting on the 1-strike offering. Here it comes, and he hits a base hit into left field. And Phillips trots home from third to make it an 8-5 ball game. Boy, this team right now doing an awful lot of things right.
And the thing about it is when you've got guys hitting to the right side, you've got guys sacrificing themselves to get runners moved up in the position, you start to take ownership for the well-being of your ball club. It's leadership all the way around.
Jay Bruce will try to keep it going as the Reds have struck for 2 runs on 3 hits among the 4 batters that Veras has faced. And he starts to go and checks his swing in time, ball 1. 10,681 turnout for tonight's Titanic struggle. 10,681, and a whole boatload of them just had gotten out of their seats and heading up the aisleway. Here's a throw on to first. So what was a 1-run lead has now been expanded to a 3-run cushion, 8-5. And with only one away in the inning, Gomes at first base. Bruce trying to move him around and fouls it off and almost picked off the on-deck hitter Ryan Hannigan. Ball a strike.
Getting up on top of the plate has helped Johnny Gomes, hasn't it?
Certainly has.
It cost him one in the middle of the ribs, but that may have been more for the home run than anything else.
Stretching the pitch. Nope, a throw on to first. Quick tag, but Gomes back. Logan Andrusic back up and throwing in the bullpen. I would imagine we'll see him in the bottom of the inning because they'll have Ramirez, Cantu, and Ugla, 3 straight right-hand batters coming up. Arthur Rhodes, another outstanding job. 3 men up, 3 men down. Jay Bruce takes it upstairs to get ahead 2-1. The impressive thing, one of the impressive things about this series, 11 hits for the Reds last night. They've had 9 tonight. Swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch down. Completely befuddles Jay Bruce, and it's 2-2. Bruce, a 154 batter, has yet to drive in a run. And that ain't good. Now the pitch. Nope. Throw to first again. They must think that Jesse Owens is over at first base.
3-point stamp.
Yep. Jose Veras ought to be clued in. Johnny Gomes can do a lot of things, but steal bases ain't one of them. Now the pitch. That's a breaking ball for strike call, and Bruce will head back to the dugout, bat in hand. 2 outs in the inning, and Ryan Hannigan will be up. That looked like a pretty good pitch to me. Bruce didn't think so, but I thought it looked like a strike when
Too close to take.
Yeah, absolutely.
It may have been off a little bit, but it wasn't by much.
Here's Hannigan, who has been a major contributor tonight with that 3-run home run in the 4th inning. Fastball strike. If he gets on base, Lance Nix will bat for Arthur Rhodes. Gomes edging off the bag at first. He's had 4 RBIs tonight. Hannigan has had 3. Phillips has the other one. Now the pitch. Breaking ball away, and it's a ball, a strike on the Reds catcher Ryan Hannigan. Rough inning for Jose Veras, coming in to try and keep the deficit at 1 run, but he's not been able to do that. And he continues to pay undue attention to Johnny Gomes at first base. Hannigan taking his time now, getting back in the batter's box. Veras wants to throw over. It has started to rain here. Very, very lightly. Swing and a high pop-up on the infield. Cantu, Ramirez, Cantu to make the catch. The Reds score twice on 3 hits and lead 1. Middle of the 8th inning, 8-5 Reds on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
Logan Andrusik will be the right-hander that Dusty Baker goes to here in the 8th. This will be his 5th appearance. Every ball game except for one, he has come in and gotten all the outs he needs.
Well, hopefully he'll get all the outs he needs tonight.
You got that right.
He's got Ramirez facing him to begin the inning, and he's had 2 hits, an RBI, and a run scored. 3, 4, and 5, the heart of the Florida batting order for the young rookie. And the pitch is low and away, ball 1.
Nix is in left field for Gomes, the double switch there in that situation.
Which means that Nix will be the leadoff batter in the top of the 9th. Andrusik from the windup, pitching, and a pop-up outside of first, but out of play. Let's take a look at our Cincinnati Bell trivia question again.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. In 1969, the Reds made a trade with the Twins to get pitcher Jim Merritt, a trade that would have a major impact a year later when the Reds won the National League Championship. Who did the Reds trade for Merritt? Frank Duffy, Jimmy Stewart, or Leo Cardenas? You said
Leo.
Foul ball back. And the answer is Leo Cardenas.
No way! No way! Oh, did you see me ease back into that? Ooh, it's my birthday.
You got it, bro.
Oh, hallelujah.
1-2 the count. To the waiting Hanley Ramirez and a line drive into right. That's a base hit. 3 hits tonight for the Florida shortstop. The batter will be Jorge Cantu. Cardenas was traded to the Twins for Merritt, who promptly went 20-12 for the 1970 National League champion Reds and was the only pitcher to win 20 games in a season in a Reds uniform in the entire decade of the 70s. Jim Merritt. Now Cantu steps in, 1 for 3, an RBI base hit. He takes a fastball for a strike. Reds trying to make it back-to-back wins here in Florida and 3 wins in a row. Leading 8-5 in the 8th inning, but Hanley Ramirez goes the other way with a single to right. Cantu swings and tops it foul off third base.
You know, the funny thing about Andrusik is he has thrown the ball as good as you could throw it in every other game except the one ball game against the Cardinals where he didn't get it out. He gave up 3 runs in that game. But other than that, he has been awfully good.
I think Dusty Baker and Brian Price are very pleased with what they've seen from this kid. Swing and a miss. He goes away and rings up Cantu for out number 1.
That one ball game against the Cardinals, he came in and he was facing the heart of the order with the big boy and Holiday. And I tell you what, he just got the heart beating a little bit too much.
Takes care of one tough hitter. Now goes to work on another one, and Danny Ugla, who has struck out, flied out, and popped out.
Big boy being Albert Pujols.
That would be Albert Pujols. The pitch. Fastball strike. Well, Pujols didn't hit a home run tonight.
Really?
Because they didn't play.
Oh, well, I was going to say.
Yeah. He is a leader with 5. He has hit 3 in his last 2 games. Here's a pitch. That's way upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Reds infield yet to turn a double play tonight. And right now would be as good a time as any. Here's a throw on to first, and Ramirez back. Ugla since 2006. This young man has some power. He may not give you much of an average, but he will hit home runs. He's had 122 of them since 2006, and that is more than any other major league second baseman. So he can get your attention with a long ball as he waves at a pitch up in his eyes to enable Andrusik to get ahead of ball in 2 strikes. Reds coming up with 2 big runs in the top of this 8th inning. and now lead by 3. Fastball away, 2-2. What you don't want now, though, is to enable them to have the tying run come to the plate.
Not in this ballpark with that short left field
You're
fence.
not kidding, boy.
It might say 330, but it plays about 230.
Yeah, 345 to right. That's a different deal. But left field, it's chopper foul, and the count stays at 2-2. We saw the Reds hit 3 home runs here last night. They have clubbed 2 more tonight. Ugla back in the box. The outfield pretty much straight away on this right-handed batting Florida second baseman Ramirez with a short lead at first base. And that's a strikeout swinging.
That is that cut fastball, short slider, whatever you want to call it, but it is tighter than a tick. That ball starts right on the outside corner and goes down. And when you're 6'8" and you've got a breaking ball that goes down, look out.
So now trying to gain the measure, Ronnie Paulino, and end this Florida 8th inning. Paulino has walked and scored. He's 0 for 2. Too low for a ball. Catching situation for this Florida club in pretty good hands. A left-handed batter in John Baker. Right-handed batter in Ronnie Paulino. That pitch is inside 2-0. So we'll probably see Francisco Cordero in the 9th inning again.
Yeah. No doubt about it. When you're the closer, you're the closer.
Yes, sir. And 3 balls and no strikes. After punching out Cantu and Ugla back-to-back, has yet to be able to get a pitch in for a strike to Ronnie Paulino, and you've got a guy who can bust him long waiting on deck in Cody Ross. Here's a pitch. He walked him. 4 straight pitches. Grow your very own Great American Ballpark turf. The first 20,000 fans in attendance on Saturday, April 24th will receive a baseball-shaped pot containing a sample of new Great American Ballpark grass seed thanks to Scott's. Get your tickets now to see the Reds take on the Padres at 513-381-REDS or go to Reds.com. Here's Cody Ross. RBI double in the second. He was hit by a pitch, crossed the plate in the 5th, bounced back to the box in the 6th inning. So Andrusic having his feet put to the fire, and a swing and a foul off the mid of catcher Ryan Hannigan, 0-1.
Just stay right out there and let Cody Ross get himself out. He's thinking home run, you keep the ball down and away, he'll roll that baby right over there to Cabrera.
Ramirez at second. Over at first base, Ronnie Paulino, 2 men out. Reds leading by 3 runs in this 8th inning. The pitch stays away again, but missed with that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dan Meyer, the left-hander, back up and throwing in the Florida bullpen. Andrusic sets to go again. Looks back at Ramirez, deals, and here's a drive. Hammered back into left field. That ball is out of here, and this game is tied up. Cody Ross, who has made a habit the last couple of years out of having big hits against the Cincinnati Reds, has done it again. A 3-run home run to left field, and it's all tied up at 8 apiece. Wow.
A breaking ball that stayed up and out over the plate, and anything off speed for Cody Ross at that point, that's what he's trying to get out there and hook it, and he does just that.
Here's Gabby Sanchez, and he bounces this one up the middle. Cabrera will get to it. The throw to first is not in time. It goes into or stays out of the dugout, apparently hit the cement on the top step. Otherwise, the runner would have been at second base, but things coming unbent immediately for Logan Andrusic.
2-out walk put him in a world of hurt to a guy that did not have a hit in the ball game.
Nope. So now Brian Price will go to the mound and meet with Andrusic as Wes Helms, a right-handed batter, comes off the bench. Somewhat belatedly, we pause for identification on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Boy, Cincinnati pitching has been awfully lacking tonight. Had a 6-1 lead. Bronson Arroyo suffered through a 4-run inning to allow them to close to within 1. The Reds put 2 runs on the board in the top of this inning, and young Andrusic gives out a 3-run home run to Cody Ross to tie it up, and now an infield base hit to Gabby Sanchez, bringing up Wes Helms. And the pitch is in for a strike. So that blast will keep Arroyo from getting another victory. First two times out this year, no decision outings, and here's another hit. Line drive single up the middle. Moving to second is Sanchez, and the hits just keep on coming now for the Florida Marlins.
Well, the 2-out rally has been awfully rough on the Reds tonight. They've done it here in the 8th, and they did it in the 5th.
Well, I'll tell you what, Daniel Ray Herrera just got up to begin throwing in the bullpen, and Dusty Baker is coming to the mound to take Andrusic out. And Herrera just got up. So he is coming out of the bullpen to face Chris Coghlan with runners at first and second in a tie game here in the 8th inning.
And he was unable to get the left-hander out. Let's see if he can do it here.
Boy, it's amazing how a game's fortunes can turn around. Your team gets 2 runs in the top of an inning late to go up by 3. You feel like you're in good shape, even more so after back-to-back strikeouts with a runner on and 2 out. And I mean, the wheels fall off. Coghlan takes the first pitch for a ball.
Never take anything for granted.
No. 2-out walk to Paulino, then a 3-run homer to tie it by Ross. Infield single Sanchez, pinch hit single up the middle by Helms. And it comes down to left-hander versus left-hand batter, and there's a strike. I think the Marlins have a pinch runner at second base. Here's a stretch in the pitch. That's a ball. Brian Barden, an infielder by trade, has gone in to run for Gabby Sanchez, and he represents the go-ahead run. They've got Leo Nunez warming up. He's their closer in the bullpen. Coghlan, with a count of 2 balls and 1 strike, is 0 for 4 tonight. And that pitch is high, and the count is 3-1. I'll tell you, Daniel Ray Herrera has been a little bit shaky out of the gate in the role that he's on this pitching staff to accomplish, and that's get left-handed batters out in situations just like this. Cameron Maven waiting on deck would be the 9th man to bat if Coghlan gets on, and there's ball 4, and they're loaded. No move yet from Dusty Baker in the bullpen, in the dugout. And apparently Daniel Ray Herrera is going to be left in there to face Cameron Maben. 1 hit and 4 times up tonight. Bases loaded. Game tied. The stretch and the pitch, and that one is taken for a strike. Pinch runner Barden at third base. Wes Helms at second. Chris Coughlin at first. 2 out, 3 runs in. And the Marlins are looking for a base hit here from young Cameron Maben to get the lead. The pitch. Swinging and a foul ball back. It's 0-2.
You know, I don't know exactly how the numbers come up. I know he did very well against left-handers last year, Herrera I'm talking about. But it seems to me that screwball works much better against right-handed hitters, and that's really his best pitch.
Yep. Well, he gets ahead quickly, 0-2 on Maben. Checking the runners dealing, and that one is just down low for a ball. I can remember when Fernando Valenzuela came to the big leagues, and the success he had with that screwball as a starting pitcher. And, of course, Daniel Ray Herrera has had good success in a year for the Reds with that pitch. And there is strike 3 call on the outside edge. Maben caught looking, and Daniel Ray Herrera comes on to stop the bleeding. But the Marlins come back on a game-tying 3-run home run by Cody Ross. And at the end of 8, this game is all even at 8 apiece on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Lance Nix leading off the top of the 9th against Leo Nunez, and a big swing and a miss by the left-hander.
Nunez pitched in last night's ball game, 1 inning, had a strikeout. He is the closer for the Marlins. Fastball and that pitch you just saw there, the turnover changeup, starting to rain a little bit.
Yep. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and grounded to first, fielded by Cantu, who has moved across the infield from third to first, with Brian Barden staying in the game to play third base. And that's the first out of the Cincinnati 9th inning. This is the second straight night that Freddie Gonzalez has brought Nunez in a non-saving situation. He came in a tie game in the 9th last night, and he's on in a tie game in the 9th inning tonight. Drew Stubbs 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Fans running for cover as the rain swirling around the ballpark comes down on the natural turf here at Sun Life Stadium.
Go from a clear night to an ugly night in a hurry all the way around, on the field and in the air.
Hopefully this rain will not be around very long. 1 strike and nothing on Stubbs in an 8-8 game in the 9th, and there's a call strike.
Marty, that's Wes Helms at third base. Pardon me. Out of the game.
Okay, Wes Helms, who pinch hit earlier in the inning, stays in the game to play third, and Cantu's at first base. That pitch way outside a ball. It really looked like the Reds were in great shape, and they were.
No kidding.
But boy, that 2-out walk to Ronnie Paulino was a killer after Andrusic had struck out back-to-back batters. There's another strikeout by Drew Stubbs. That's his 3rd of the night. 2 down in the inning, and the batter will be Orlando Cabrera. His strikeouts now are coming alarmingly and consistently day in and day out. Cabrera with a base hit. Rain is all but stopped now, and folks starting to come back down to the uncovered seats as Nunez misses away ball 1. They will have Ramirez, Cantu, and Ugla due up in the bottom of the 9th inning, and they're the same 3 batters that came up in the bottom of the 8th. to begin things. Strike call.
And it looks like it'll be Micah Owings to come in if the game remains tied. And Cordero if the Reds can somehow muster a run.
1 ball and 1 strike, the count on Orlando Cabrera. 2 down, bases empty, 9th inning. And a foul ball is out of play. Two big innings tonight for the Florida Marlins. A 4-run 5th inning and a game-tying 3-run 8th. Here's a fly ball hit back into left center field. It's going to be caught on the run, and the inning is over. So the Reds are up and down in order. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Micah Owings coming out of the bullpen to try and protect this 8-8 game on the Cincinnati Bell Reds radio. Record. Worked 3 innings of 1-hit shutout baseball his first time on the mound this season. He threw strikes consistently in spring training, and he threw strikes in that one previous inning. And now on to face the same 3 batters that Logan Andrusic faced to start off the 8th inning for the Florida Marlins. Ramirez with a 3-hit night leading the inning off, and he takes it high and away, ball 1. And Andrusic, 2/3 of an inning, giving up 4 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 2 strikeouts. Daniel Ray Herrera, 1/3, walked a batter and then struck out Maben to leave the bases loaded. That is a strike, and it's 1-1. Outfield very, very deep. The only time they've gotten Ramirez out tonight, he grounded to Scott Rowland for the final out of the first inning. Since then is at a single, a double, and another single. He takes that one away, 2-1. .342 batting average last year to lead the National League. Right now batting .414 in the second week of the season. Swing at a miss. Good pitch up and in. Right-hander has gotten up in the Florida bullpen just in the event that this game goes to extra innings for the second consecutive night.
Looks like Tim Wood. I believe that's who we saw in last night.
We certainly did. The pitch. That's a ball, and the count's 3-2, and a big, big pitch coming up right here. I mean, you're really between a rock and a hard place with this guy. You make a mistake trying to throw a strike and avoid a walk, and he hits it out of here to win the game.
Well, you just have to play it to the big part of the field and get the ball down and away from him. If he's going to take it out, you got to make him do it the other way.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Owings working from the windup. Hannigan sends out the sign. Here comes a payoff to Ramirez, and it's grounded slowly to the right side. Here is Phillips throwing, 1 away to begin the 9th inning.
Pretty good changeup. Outstanding location, a great pitch call, and execution is the key.
So 1 away, and that brings up Cantu. He's had a hit and an RBI and 4 trips. That base hit to drive in a run back in the 5th inning set a new club record. He has now driven in runs in 8 straight games to begin the season. Had been tied with former star of the Marlins, Cliff Floyd, now retired. Here's a pitch to Cantu, and it's a ball.
I would think as the season goes along, if Mike Owings can get used to the fact that he has to warm up in a hurry. We may see him more towards the end of the game rather as the long man.
Here's a smash. Nice play. Backhanded on the half hop and dug out of the dirt on the receiving end by Joey Votto to retire Jorge Cantu.
How about that for a Gold Glove play?
Boy, he can pick it at third now.
I mean, that ball was hit hard enough for a lot of third basemen just to get out of the way.
Correct. So 2 men up, 2 men down, but not out of the woods yet. Danny Uggla, who struck out in the 8th inning, en route to so far an 0-for-4 night, stands in. And should this game go to a 10th inning, we'll see the same script played out that we saw last night. Nunez worked the ninth. The Reds got it to a 10th inning, and they went right back to somebody else in their bullpen. First pitch in for a call strike.
And, you know, these games early in the season like this that you go into extra innings, these are character testers for your young ball club.
Uggla waiting on the 1-strike pitch. He takes it inside, and too much so. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last night it was Burt Badenhop who Freddie Gonzalez brought on to face the Reds in the 10th inning, and that's who the Reds hung the loss on. 2 out, bases empty here in the bottom of the ninth, and just a little bit high and away. Uggla jumps out ahead, 2-1. Ramirez and Cantu ground outs. Ramirez to Phillips. Cantu a low rocket. Played brilliantly by Scott Rowland at third base. The wind, the pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch in on his hands. I'll tell you, the folks that have come to see the first 2 games of this series have gotten their money's worth. Two balls, 2 strikes. On deck, Ronnie Paulino. And here comes Owings back to the plate, and it's fouled straight back.
You almost, as a pitcher, Marty, have to just make sure that Uggla's not guessing in the spot you're going, because he is a guess hitter in this kind of situation. He's looking one side or the other to try to tomahawk that baby out of here. And he's strong enough where he can pull one of those outside pitches out of the ballpark.
Owings set for the 2-2 pitch again. He rocks, kicks, and deals. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. An outstanding 9th inning turned in by Micah Owings, which means for the 2nd night in a row, the Reds and the Marlins go to extra innings tonight, tied at 8 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Last night, 6-5-10, the Reds won it. Tonight, they go back to the 10th inning. They'll be hitting off right-hander Tim Wood. And back with the play-by-play, Jeff Brantley.
Thank you, Marty. Left-hander Joey Votto, 3-4-5 for the Reds. You couldn't ask for any better for the Reds coming up against Wood here, as Votto takes the first pitch fastball off the plate away. Wood making his first opening day roster here in 2010 with the Marlins. Right-hander kicks and deals, fouled off into the mitt. Wood with a fastball and a breaking ball. Nice, long, loose arm. Sinking fastball somewhere between 90 and 93. Breaking ball around 86, 85. 1 ball and 1 strike to the left-handed hitting Votto. Hammered into center field. It's going to run away from Maben all the way to the center field wall at the 4:04 sign. Actually, 4:34 sign. And, folks, that's a leadoff double for the Reds and Joey Votto. Last 2 at-bats for Votto have been hammer shots. Both of them doubles, both of them going to the wall. Here's Brandon Phillips. Let's pause for station ID on the Reds Radio Network. Joey Votto got him a fastball down and away from him, and he reached out and hit a bullet past the speedster Cameron Maben all the way to the deepest part of the ballpark. Phillips is at the plate. The go-ahead run at second. Fastball upstairs, a 93-mile-an-hour heater. 1 ball and no strikes. Rowland stands on deck. This trio were the ones that put 2 runs on the board in the 8th. Here's the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss as Phillips tries to shoot the ball to the right side. A tad tardy. Phillips definitely trying to go the other way and move the runner Votto from second to third and give that RBI opportunity to Rowland. Pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. Another good sinking heater from the right-hander, Tim Wood. Youngster trying to bow his back right here with a go-ahead run for the Reds at second base. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Phillips. Wood comes to the set, checks Votto at second. Here's the pitch. Fastball up and away. Folks in the stands wanted that called for a strike, but that was obviously up and off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Phillips. They have worked Phillips in under his hands so far, and they're going back in here. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Phillips strikes out and can't get the job done. Fooled him with a slider there, a hanger at that. And Phillips just had it way out in front. Here's Scott Rowland, and they may not let Rowland touch the bat. And they are standing to walk him. Ronnie Polino stands behind home plate, and Rowland will get the intentional walk. And that'll bring the pitcher, Micah Owings, to the plate. Owings hitting in the spot formerly occupied by Johnny Gomes. And you have to wonder if the youngster that's on the mound knows how good of a hitter that Micah Owings is, as ball 4 is thrown outside. The intentional walk given to Rowland to set up the double play. And Randy St. Clair, the Marlins pitching coach, is out of the dugout, and he'll do his best to explain to the youngster Tim Wood that this is no ordinary pitcher coming to the plate. But I don't know how good you can explain that, because the guy standing at home plate has got enough power to hit it into the upper deck. And you can convince me all you want that this guy can hit, but if I'm on the mound and I don't know this guy, I'm thinking this is just a pitcher. I'm just going to fire it in there and strike him out. And that could loom big for the Reds here. Micah Owings stands in, a perfect 9th turned in by the right-hander, and now he stands in with the bat. Tim Wood on the mound. Here's the pitch. Fastball popped up to the right side. Here comes Cody Ross. And he'll make the catch, and he'll fire it back into the infield, and just like that, Micah Owings is retired for the second out of the inning, and everything falls on the number 7 hole hitter, Jay Bruce. Owings a little anxious on that first pitch there, and it was out over the plate, and he just popped it up. Reds with Rowland at first, Votto at second. Votto with a leadoff double, and they could not move him around. Bruce, last chance for the Reds. Fastball away. 1 ball and no strike to Bruce. Bruce got a hit back in the first inning. That was the controversial home run. Ended up getting a single in that at bat as he takes ball 2 up and away. Bruce with a chance to put the Reds on top again. They have led 3 different times tonight. The pitch from Wood. Popped up into the infield. And Hanley Ramirez is calling for it. He makes the catch. And the Reds strand a leadoff double. And we will head to the bottom of the 10th. Marlins, Reds, all tied on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. And then the pitcher's spot. Owings takes over here in this 8-8 ball game. We're in the bottom of the 10th inning. Reds and Marlins. First pitch to Polino, a changeup right over the outside corner, and that's a strike. No balls and one strike to Ronnie Polino. He is hitless on the night, 0 for 2, and this is a line drive center field. Here comes Stubbs, and he makes the catch. Polino hit it right on the nose, but he hit it right at Drew Stubbs in dead center field, one down. And here's the Marlins hero of the day, Cody Ross, who came up with a 3-run home run to tie this game in the 8th after 2 were out off Logan Ondrusek. Cody Ross, the former Cincinnati Red, will stand in with 1 out here in the bottom of the 10th inning. We are all tied at 8. Mike Owings on the mound. Fastball, swing and a miss. Throws that one right by Cody Ross. Ross has doubled. He was hit by a pitch, and then the 3-run home run in the bottom of the 8th inning to tie it all up. Fastball inside underneath the feet as Ross jumps out of the way. Ball was headed towards his front ankle. Owings on the mound. Right-hander looks into Hannigan for the sign. He'll kick and deal. Fastball outside corner right on the money. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Owings bids for his second out here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Owens checks in for the sign. The pitch fouled straight back. Boy, had a big cut at that, did Cody Ross. A fastball up in the strike zone. And he was swinging for the downs. John Baker, the catcher, the other catcher, I should say, the left-handed hitter, stands on deck. One ball and 2 strikes, 1 out, bottom of the 10th. The pitch, fastball up and away, and that one came out of the hand funny of Micah Owings and goes all the way to the backstop. So that'll even her up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We are all tied at 8. Another extra inning ball game here at Sun Life Stadium in South Florida, the Marlins and the Reds. Reds won last night and trying to do it again here tonight, but they've got to put the Marlins to sleep first here in the bottom of the 10th. Fastball popped up foul to the right side and out of play. Ross is hanging in there. Came into the ball game hitting .276. He was 8 for 29. Did not have a home run. Did not have an extra base hit. 2-2 pitch from Owings. Fastball right down Broadway, and he strikes out Ross for the second out. 2 down for John Baker. And Micah Owings, with his second strikeout of the night, comes on a fastball as he paints the outside corner. Baker steps off the bench. He caught just about all of last night's ball game. He wears number 21 on the back of his jersey, and he stands in from the left side. First pitch changeup, swing and a miss from Baker right off the bench. Baker does not. Ground ball to the right side, and it's through the hole. Single into right field on a 2-out hit from John Baker. So with 2 outs, the third batter reaches. That'll bring Wes Helms to the plate. Helms pinch hit against Ondrusik back in the 8th inning. He singled into center field to keep the inning alive. And Votto comes into the mound to talk to Owings about whether he's going to hold on the runner or whether he'll be playing off the bag. It looks as though they will hold on the catcher Baker at first base. Wes Helms stands in for the second time tonight. He's got some pop in his bat. Here's the pitch from Owings. Fastball, outside corner, strike one. Well, that seems to be a pitch that Mike Owings can make with his eyes closed. That fastball down and away right on the outside corner. One in the second, 4 in the fifth, 3 in the eighth for the Marlins. That's their 8 runs. Fastball upstairs, that's a ball. 3 in the second, 3 in the fourth, and 2 in the eighth for the Reds. Reds had back-to-back doubles in the eighth, Votto and Phillips. Thought we were going to see that in the top of this inning, and Phillips struck out, leaving Votto stranded at second, and the others did the same that followed. Pitch, hammered foul down the left field line, right off the front side of the tarp. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Wes Helms. Helms likes facing Cincinnati. 64 hits in his career against the Reds. That's the most he has against any ball club. And after the hit in the 8th, that makes it 65. 1-2 pitch from Owings. Here it is. Fastball pop foul to the right side. Now to play. He had Helms reaching on a fastball down and away. Polino led off the inning. He lined out to Stubbs in center field. Cody Ross struck out on a fastball down and away as Owings caught him looking. John Baker, who stands at first base, came on to pinch hit in the pitcher's spot and singled into right field. And now here we are on a 1-2 count to Wes Helms. Here's the pitch. Fastball way upstairs. That almost went over the head of a lunging Ryan Hannigan. You're all the way down there in that squatting stance behind home plate, and you've got to jump skyward to get a fastball traveling at 90 miles an hour, but Hannigan's able to come down with it. Pick to first base. Baker is back in town. All tied at 8, Reds and Marlins. We are in extra innings once again, the bottom of the 10th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runner at first is Baker. The batter is Wes Helms. The pitcher is Owings. There goes the runner, and the ball's fouled off to the right side again. A changeup this time by the right-hander Owings, and he continued to have Wes Helms lunging at the ball. Back to the mound is Mike Owings. All the infielders backed up onto the edge of the grass except for Joey Votto as he holds Baker on at first base. Owings to the belt. Checks once. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 strikes him out. We'll head to 11. Reds and Marlins tied at 8 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Dan Meyer, the left-hander, comes on for his 3rd appearance here in 2010. The left-hander set career records with a 3.09 earned run average last year in 71 appearances, a 3-2 record. He wears number 53 on the back of his jersey. Hannigan set to lead things off, and back with a play-by-play. Here's Marty.
All right, let's see what can happen here. Reds had a golden opportunity in the 10th inning after a leadoff double by Joey Votto and could not score. And now they go to an 11th inning where Hannigan, who cracked a 3-run home run back in the 4th inning, his first of the year, stands in against a left-hander Meyer. Tim Wood worked an inning, struck out a batter, walked a batter intentionally, and allowed a hit. And so now Meyer becomes the sixth pitcher of the night for the Florida Marlins. He delivers, and Hannigan takes a strike. Marlins have out-hit the Reds 11-10. They've left 7 on base. The Reds have stranded 5. And Florida has committed the game's only error. Hannigan, Nix, and Stubbs here in the top of the 11th inning. The pitch and another strike. The Marlins are flat out of position players. They have used everybody on their bench. The Reds are in much better shape. They still have 4 available bats on the bench. Miguel Cairo, Chris Dickerson, Ramon Hernandez, and Paul Yanish. 0-2 the count on Hannigan. Yet to swing the bat, and that pitch misses, and not by much of all. Ryan slow to get back in the batter's box. Meyer studies a sign, dropped down by Ronnie Paulino, and turns it loose. And he laid off of it. That pitch was up and away, but close enough for Ryan to think about, but he checked his swing, and the count's 2-2.
Well, you can tell that Hannigan is looking to try to shoot that ball into right field, but that ball was up a little bit. That's nothing but a pop-up pitch.
Hannigan leading off the 11th inning. Swinging and lining a base hit into right field. That's exactly what he was trying to do, and that he does.
Now the Reds have to execute. They weren't able to do it in the top of the 10th inning after the double by Votto moving the runners along. They're going to have to do it here and give the Reds a chance with a single to score a run.
Well, Chris Dickerson is going to come off the bench and pinch run for Ryan Hannigan. And now it'll be Lance Nix at the plate, and I can't imagine they'll have Nix doing anything but swinging the bat. I'll bet you he is not bunting. We'll see. We'll see if he knows how to.
Well, I can't imagine that he'd be doing anything but bunting. You never know.
Well, the third baseman, Wes Helms, pulled in thinking he might. Here's a stretch by Meyer, and there's a throw on to first.
He did not show bunt.
Certainly did not.
Maybe Meyer will throw one in there, and he'll rack it out of the ballpark down the right field line, and we can all
jump up and down, act like a bunch of fools,
and hope for the bottom of the 11th.
That's right. Now the stretch by Meyer, pitching, and now he bunts, and he drops a good one down. Nope, it goes foul. Started out as if it was going to be a dandy right along the line and then trickle foul. So it's kind of interesting. You saw Meyer throw over, and Nick showing no signs at all of bunting, and when he comes to the plate, he drops down a bunt, and he's down a strike as he slowly makes his way back to the batter's box.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that Lance Nix knows how to bunt. That was great form and a great job of doing it right at the last second. So I believe he can handle that exercise if asked to do it again.
Wes Helms will stay in at third base. Cantu, no doubt, will be charging. And now Meyer looked down for the sign, apparently didn't like what he was looking at, stepped off, and they'll go through him again. Ronnie Paulino has gone all the way behind the plate tonight. They used Baker as a pinch hitter in the last inning. There's a throw on to first. The Reds 8, the Marlins 8, top of the 11th inning. The left-hander raises the leg and deals, and the pitch is taken outside a ball. We pause for identification on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. One ball, one strike. Nix showing bunt all the way, and he drops one out in front of the mound. A good bunt fielded by the pitcher on to first base, and Nix gets the job done. They go 1-3 on the outplay of Nix, an excellent bunt, advancing the speedy Dickerson to second base. And now Drew Stubbs needs to turn his fortunes around a bit and come up with a base hit that would drive Dickerson in with a go-ahead run.
Well, you'd like to believe as a manager that anybody on your club could bunt at any given time, especially in this kind of situation late in the ball game. But it's not always the case. Nix did a great job right there.
He sure did. It has been a long, long night for Nix. He has gone 0 for 5. He has struck out Stubbs 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. He is 1 for 10 in the series with 4 punch-outs. And the pitch to him is taken strike on the outside.
Well, a base hit right here could do a lot to make him feel a little bit better.
Well, if he continues to go the way he's going, we're going to see a lot more Chris Dickerson in center field.
I agree.
No question about that. That's a ball inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. For the second consecutive extra inning, the Reds get a runner in scoring position. And Francisco Cordero, who seemingly has been up every inning the last 4 innings, 8, 9, 10, and now 11. There's a swing on a bad ball down. And it's a ball and 2 strikes on Drew Stubbs. No activity going on at the moment in the Florida bullpen. We've already seen Pinto and Barris and Nunez and Wood and now Meyer. While the Reds have had to go with Rhodes and Andrusic, Herrera, and Micah Owings has been out there since the 9th inning. He'll be going back in the bottom of the 11th to pitch his 3rd inning. 1-2 the count. The pause, a pitch. That's a ball.
Cordero has been doing this long enough to know that you just toss a little bit right now just to keep the blood flowing until the run actually crosses, and then you crank it up.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And a fly ball lifted down the right field line will be out of play. Meyer walking in toward the plate to get a new baseball from plate umpire Jeff Kellogg. Another late night at Sun Life Stadium here in Florida. Many of the folks who got up when the Reds scored 2 times in the top of the 8th to take an 8-5 lead and left probably are second-guessing themselves now since the Marlins came back to tie it on Cody Ross's home run in the bottom of the 8th. And now here we are in the 11th inning, still tied at 8. Swing and a foul fly to right again and out of play.
Stubbs is trying to wait as long as possible. He struck out tonight 3 times on changeups. 1 called, 2 swinging, and 2 the last 2 times.
Meyer giving up a leadoff base hit to Ryan Hannigan. Chris Dickerson came in to run for him. Lance Nix bunted Dickerson into scoring position, so 1 out. And a bluff throw back towards second will get Dickerson back to the bag. On deck, Orlando Cabrera. If you're looking toward the bottom of the 11th inning, it'll be the top of the batting order. Coghlan, Maben, and Ramirez for the Florida Marlins. The pitch. Struck him. Nope, foul ball. Just got a piece of that ball to bounce it over toward the third base dugout, did Drew Stubbs.
Well, Stubbs is going about this in the right way, the way he's approaching the at-bat. He is trying to let the ball get deep into the strike zone and try to shoot the ball the other way. You protect against the changeup and the pitch that's on the outside part of the plate. The only problem is when they throw it in like that last one, you better be quick to nick it, and he just did get a piece of it.
2-2 in holding. Stubbs fouling off the strike pitches delivered by Dan Meyer. The check of Dickerson with a good lead at second. The pitch is high, ball 3, and the count is full.
Polino wanted that pitch inside.
Meyer going down behind the mound to collect himself, back on top. Slight bend to get the sign from Ronnie Paulino. Dickerson with a big lead. And again, Meyer steps off, and again, Paulino will run through the signs. The left-hander straightens up on the mound. Pausing, pitching. Ball 4, and an excellent at-bat for Drew Stubbs. And the Reds have him at first and second, and the batter is Orlando Cabrera. Cabrera also 1 for 5 tonight. That was a single way back in the 3rd inning. Hit a 2-run home run here in the opening game of the series last night. 2 innings in a row now, the 10th and now the 11th. The Reds have threatened to break this tie. They could not do it in the 10th, and wasting a leadoff double by Joey Votto. Now with Dickerson at second, Drew Stubbs at first, 2 guys who can pick him up and lay him down. And the pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss. Cordero has stopped his deliberations momentarily in the Reds bullpen down the left field line. Here's a high blast back into deep left center field. How much of it did he get? He got enough of it, or did he? No, the ball was caught. The ball was caught. What a play by Chris Coghlan in left center field up against a wall. What a play by last year's National League Rookie of the Year. It really did not look like he had a chance of running that ball down, but dove onto the warning track and came up with it. And what a play by young Chris Coghlan. Wow.
Telling you what, that's a game saver right there as he dove right at the base of the wall. As a matter of fact, he hit his head on the wall as he slid into that left center field area. Wow, what a play.
That's the best play of the game, best play of the series. And now here's Joey Votto back. 2 on, 2 out, and a foul out of play, 0-1.
I mean, he had no other way to catch that baseball than to do what he did. And you're talking about a rubberized tarp. You might as well go and dive on the concrete.
Great, great play by Chris Coghlan. Votto doubled and scored in the 8th. He led off the 10th inning with a double. The 1-strike pitch to him, swinging and a foul ball back again. It's 0-2. Boy, you don't get a base hit here. And that Florida club, their spirits will have risen 100-fold as a result of the catch by Chris Coghlan. And with the top of their batting order coming up in the bottom of the 11th inning. Wow. Votto in a hole, 2 strikes. The pitch. That's the breaking ball away.
You just have to keep finding a way, batter to batter, to get it done. If the guy in front of you can't get him in, then you'd have to do it.
Well, I think everybody in this ballpark thought that ball was in for extra bases, and 2 runs would have scored. One and 2 on Joey Votto. Dickerson at second. Drew Stubbs at first. Reds 8. Marlins 8. Top of the 11th inning. The left-hander sets, and he pitches. And that's way inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Thing about it, Marty, is on that dive by Coghlan, Dickerson and Stubbs both are lucky they weren't doubled up.
Certainly were.
That ball did not appear as though it was going to be caught. And Dickerson, he made sure that he didn't get too far off that bag because he could score from anywhere.
Yep. Battle continues here between Dan Meyer and Joey Votto. Two balls and 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. The pitch. And a line drive over the head of a leaping Hanley Ramirez for a base hit, and the go-ahead run is home. Joey Votto had just enough on it to clear a leaping Hanley Ramirez. Dickerson scores, and the Reds here in the 11th inning jump out in front 9-8.
We saw Scott Rowland do it last night with a broken bat job over the head of a leaping Dan Uggla. Same thing here tonight with 2 outs. Votto hits it off the end of the bat just over a leaping Hanley Ramirez. Boy, he got up for that ball, too.
So the Reds find a way to get the lead after a great catch by Chris Coghlan. And the inning will continue for Brandon Phillips, who had a terrible at-bat in the 10th inning. After the leadoff double by Joey Votto, he ended up striking out swinging. And here he is an inning later. And he rips one off the glove of the third baseman into left field. Stubbs being waved around. Here comes the throw. He'll beat it easily, and the Reds take a 10-8 lead. So a redeemer for Brandon Phillips. A rocket by a diving Wes Helms into left field. Back-to-back two-out singles. The Reds have jumped out in front by 2 here in the 10th inning, and the batter will be Scott Rowland.
You just have to continue to believe that if the guy in front of you doesn't do it, you do it.
Oh, boy, that's a big hit for Brandon Phillips after the at-bat he had in the 10th inning.
Well, he's got 4 hits tonight. Votto has 3 in a row, and they've all come here in the 8, 9, 10 area.
Well, it's no secret. If those 2 guys hit, this club's going to have a lot of fun this summer. Here is Rowland. And the pitch is taken for a ball inside.
We like fun.
Yeah. This has really been a battle of attrition. The first 2 games of this series, neither manager tonight, their last thought was to have to go deep into their bullpens. And as it turns out, that's exactly what they've had to do for the second night in a row. And now Cordero really throwing with a purpose now as Scott Rowland works a 2-0 count against left-hander Dan Meyer.
These kind of games, it doesn't matter if you're young or old. It's a battle of wills and a battle of character. You just have to fight.
Checking the runners at first and second. Scott takes low, ball 3. And really at this point, Freddie Gonzalez has nowhere else to go. I mean, nobody's warming up in their bullpen. He used his closer to keep the game tied in the 9th inning, which he did last night, only to lose in the 10th on this man's base hit. Meyer pitching and Scott taking, and that's a strike at the knees, 3-1. Votto singles into left center, breaks a tie. Phillips rips one to left, adds an insurance run, and now the 3-1 coming to Scott Rowland. And that's ball 4, and they are loaded for Micah Owings, who now will be taken down, and Ramon Hernandez will come to the plate to pinch hit. Time called as Randy St. Clair, the pitching coach of the Florida Marlins, makes his way to the mound. Make your reservation right now for the Front Gate Outdoor Luxury Suite at Great American Ballpark. This outdoor suite features an all-inclusive food and beverage package, flat panel TVs, luxury furnishings courtesy of Front Gate. Host your group of 30 to 48 people in one of the most unique hospitality areas in any ballpark. Reserved by calling the Reds Group Sales Department at 513-765-7600. It has been a tough 11th inning for young Dan Meyer. And it continues as he walks Rowland to load him up. And now Hernandez will come off the bench to pinch hit for Micah Owings. Reds have runners at every base. The pitch to Hernandez, taken upstairs. That's ball 1. Pitch. Missing inside. Meyer behind, 2 balls and no strikes. Boy, we've seen the relief corps make it a habit of getting the wins the last few days. Back-to-back wins by Nick Massett Sunday at home against the Cubs, last night here. And now Micah Owings in line to pick up the win. It would be his second of the year. Here's a high pop-up that'll end the inning. Third baseman coming on in foul ground, Helms, and he makes the catch. The Reds leave them loaded, but they score twice. And after 10.5 innings, it's the Reds 10, the Marlins 8 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
Looking for save number 4. He's racking them up. Let's keep it going.
He will be facing, as we mentioned earlier, the top of the batting order. Chris Coughlin, Cameron Maben, and Hanley Ramirez. Reds have a 2-run lead, so indeed it is a saving situation for Cordero, who currently is tied for the National League lead with Matt Capps of the Washington Nationals.
You know, they say, Marty, and I learned this early in my career, the saves come in bunches, so take them when you get them.
Absolutely right. Here's Coughlin, 0 for 4 with a walk. And the first pitch of this 11th inning is a bullseye delivered by Cordero. Scott Rowland shallow at third base. Pitch off the plate and high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Another fine outing by Micah Owings. 2 innings, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. Swing and a miss. It's amazing the difference in Micah Owings last year, and at least what we've seen through spring training and the first 2 times out this year, the ability to get that first pitch in for a strike.
I think when he can just go out there and just let it all loose and not have to worry about saving anything, he's a much, much better pitcher. He is so competitive. It's nice to see him go out there when he's only got to go after 1 or 2 batters or 1 or 2 innings.
Yep. Coughlin in a hole, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cordero bringing it, and he struck him out swinging, down and away. That's how the 11th inning begins for the Florida club, and the batter will be Cameron Maben.
When you're a closer and you know you're going to pitch in consecutive days, maybe 3 or 4 days in a row, you got to throw strike 1 and you got to make it happen quick.
That punch out of Chris Coughlin, the 11th strikeout recorded tonight by Reds pitching. And here's Maben, whose 1 hit was an RBI base hit back in the 5th inning. Ball 1. He was a final out in that 3-run 8th inning, and he was a strikeout victim to leave the bases loaded. He takes a strike, 1-1. So let's figure out now who the Reds will have available to pitch tomorrow night. Daniel Ray Herrera will certainly be available. Check swing, low and away. Mike Lincoln, you would think, would be available.
Massett.
Nick Massett, 1 day off.
Yes.
So really not in bad shape at all, and I'm sure if Cordero's services would be needed in the 9th inning or the bottom of an extra inning, he'd be out there again.
You're right.
Swing and a miss.
Your closer is always going to live on adrenaline, and if there's a save situation, I can assure there's some adrenaline.
You don't want me going out there to try and get it.
No, and I don't want to go either.
No, I mean, if you're the closer, you don't want me going.
No, I don't.
That's a strikeout swinging. He went. And back-to-back punch-outs, and the Reds are an out away from their 3rd straight win and their 2nd extra inning victory in as many nights here in Florida.
I've been out there for 7 in a row before.
Did it finally catch up with you?
Take every one of them. Well, I was throwing about 85 at 7th day, but they had good defense. They got them out.
So 2 men up and 2 men down. And now it's up to Hanley Ramirez to try to get on base in front of Jorge Cantu to give him a chance at trying to tie this baby up. The pitch, and it is a strike. All Ramirez has done tonight is collect 3 hits and 5 at-bats. He has scored twice and knocked in 1.
Not that ball he hit over Stubbs' head. That was a bullet.
Yes, it was.
Man.
Nobody on with back-to-back strikeouts. And Cordero's hip pocket ground ball short. The pick and the throw by Cabrera, and this one belongs to the Reds. 10 innings last night, 11 innings tonight. The result the same. The Reds come out on top 10-8. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, this 7-game road trip has started off spectacularly. The Reds post back-to-back extra inning wins over the Florida Marlins. Tonight's final 10-8. The Reds had 10 runs on 13 hits, played errorless baseball while stranding 8, while the Marlins had 8 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, and they left 7. The win goes to Micah Owings, his second without defeat. Credit Cordero with a now league-leading 4th save of the year. And Dan Meyer was the loser out of the Florida bullpen, his first decision of the season. The Reds will try to keep this thing going. They've now won 3 in a row, looking to make it 4 tomorrow night as Homer Bailey gets the ball against right-hander Chris Bolstead. 7:10 first pitch. We will be right here to bring it all to you here on the Reds Radio Network with the Ohio Casualty Cincinnati Reds pregame show beginning at 6:40. Right now, however, stay tuned for the United Dairy Farmers postgame show. And again, the final score in 11, the Reds 10 and the Marlins 8.